Using the cool gear love. No marketing. BS money side price wash. Synth Quiz and news. So sit back, relax. Enjoy your favorite crew. Synth Geekery show. Synth Geekery's where it's at. So join the channel and come on for a chat.
G'day everyone, welcome to episode 333 for those who like repeating numbers. This is Synth Geekery and we have been here for bloody ever. Welcome to the show. This is about synths and that sort of shit there. And we've got a nice echo probably from Ian. Let me just see if I can fix that up. Yeah, I'll just have to take Ian off air for a sec. It's really echoing. Anyway, big show today. We've got a whole bunch of stuff to get through to do with news and funny stuff and some stuff on Price Watch, which will be interesting. I'm hoping you guys will like that. And also we're going to probably head down onto my little Tinker desk here and I'm going to give you guys a little bit more of a look at a couple of the modules that we got a few weeks ago, and we're going to have another visit because I've had to play with them now for a couple of weeks, so we can visit that. But the topic today, I thought it was a doozy because we've just heard, we'll get to this in the news, don't worry, that Arturia have released a Mark II of something and a Mark II of something before, and but I thought to myself, hang on a minute, do we need new hardware or do we need new firmware? And sometimes the device that they've brought out could have probably just done with a firmware refresh. Was the hardware refresh really needed? Was it as good as it probably could have been if it's a hardware refresh? So we're going to talk about that, and I think that's a great topic that we can sink our teeth into. Don't forget, you can jump on to the Zoom call and join us, especially when we get into that. We'll get our teeth sunk straight into that, and I think you guys will really enjoy that topic this week. Well, I mean, if you don't, I do, and that's all that counts, really. Bad luck if you don't. Hi, everyone. Ian is muted. I'll unmute him. There we go.
Echoing.
I'm muted too.
Okay. Oh dear.
You don't seem to be.
I've just refreshed. I've just reconnected. So hopefully that'll fix it. Hi everybody.
Beautiful. I think it sounds pretty good so far. We'll keep an eye on it anyway. Cool. Ian's had some technical problems with his audio, but that's probably because he's not in the usual place. As you can see, he's sitting in Grandpa's chair right now.
I am sitting in York. I'm back in York. I thought it was time I need to work on my accent a bit more, so I've come back up to York.
Back in the old dart.
Eh? Yeah, and I'm staying with our friends Debbie and Nigel. So hi, Debbie and Nigel. They're not watching, by the way, but
they're smart. Yeah. This is too nerdy for them.
Yeah.
Hi to the chatties. There's only a few people in chat. Not sure what's happening this weekend. Last weekend they had an excuse. I think it was some synth show last week. This week, maybe it's too cold. Well, if you jump into your studio and turn your synths on, it'll warm straight up. Anyway.
Well, that's right.
Yeah. We have a synth quiz lined up and fired, but before we get to that, we're going to say, how's your week been? Did Andy say he was coming this week? I can't remember. I think he might have said he's not coming.
I don't remember.
I can't remember myself.
Well, if he's not coming,
we're hopeless.
Let's just do that instead.
Yeah,
let's just do
that.
that.
Great, are we?
We'll do that instead, eh? And I think that sorts all that out. All right. Why don't we do how's your week been? We'll start with Daren, because he's had the best week out of everyone.
I've had the best week. I won't say that. I've had an okay week. I've not been in the studio much, but I sent your track off, obviously, Ranzee. You've got it. It's gone straight into trash, so we know that's okay. What else? Chris sent me some more bits for the big track that we're doing on the album The Life We Live 3. So that's sort of wouldn't say a slow burn, but that's a middle burn because that's quite a big track that's going to take time to sort of all blend together. It's going to be about 20 minutes long for a track. To go with the others, I've finished 4 tracks out of 10, not including Man and Chrissy's track. So 4, might be halfway through the 5th track actually. And I've just started this morning writing a track for tomorrow because again I'm behind on a track for tomorrow. So it's going to be sort of like a sort of I'm not even giving it a name yet. It'll be something like undercurrent because it's going to have like a bit of a dub vibe underneath it, but it's going to be breaky beats as well. So something I found. That's if anyone's listening, always go through some of your old stuff, even if it's like years old, because I found 2 patterns in the old stuff that I'd say, and that's what's going to be part of the track tomorrow because it gave me some ideas. It was a bit of a poor track that I'd written about 4 years ago, but it had some bits in it. So I always look through stuff that you thought was useless because you never know what you might find. And this has turned into quite a cool track actually. So that'll be coming out tomorrow at some point in the afternoon usually, and that's my week basically. So yeah, it's been full now I've mentioned all that.
That's fantastic. What a great week. I mean, Ian, you're going to have to beat that, aren't you?
That was nearly SynthAddict there, look. Yes, so my week. Good day, good evening, good afternoon. I've been on Zoom a lot this week. So on Monday I did a composers meetup, which we meet up about once a fortnight, which is over a lunchtime thing. And it's with an organisation in Scotland. They're called Sound Scotland. And I did a talk from them just back in the last year. So it's just a get together and to find out what everybody's doing. But we did have a session where I was telling them what I was working on for the Synth South West gig that I'm going to be playing at next month, which was quite cool. Then on Tuesday, I had a Zoom call via the Ivers Academy with Anne Dudley, her of Art of Noise and other things. It was fine. I mean, she didn't get to see us. We were just names on a list, I think. So it was, we weren't able to interact with her very, very much. But she did say that the Korg 700 was one of the first synths that she bought, and it was a toy. Well, I was almost ranting at the screen at that point, but no, she seemed like a lovely lady. She was good actually. Lots of useful information and stuff like that. Then I did another Zoom call on Thursday, which was about branding and marketing yourself as a musician. That was an organisation called Help Musicians, which was, some of it was interesting, most of it wasn't. And then we came here on Friday. So 6.5 hours to get here, 2 hours sat on the M42 near Birmingham in a traffic jam. But we're here and we're lovely people, and I'm just, as usual, glad to be here, really. The reason I'm in York is that we're off to a party tonight. A friend of mine's birthdays. So we're going to that.
It's always good being back up north, Ian.
It's absolutely lovely being back up north. And I'm off to London tomorrow to go and spend time with my young grandson, Ellis. So he's 7 weeks old now. So we're going to go and hang out together, me and him. So yeah, no, good week though.
Awesome. What a great week. Travelling, speaking, not speaking to Anne Dudley about the 3-year synth.
Yeah, not speaking to Anne, yeah. And I had no questions for her either. So
Awesome. All right, head over to Chris. How are you, mate? How's your week?
Hey, man, happy to be here. Yeah, my week's been pretty much fine. Working mostly. I've had my head buried in a lot of MIDI. Doing a lot of development in MIDI and remembering all my codes and length of commands and all that kind of stuff. Looking at the MIDI 1.0 spec, which is actually published now. After all these years, someone actually put it on the internet. I think because they had to do number 2. Yeah, so I've been looking at that. Also been kind of had my head buried in stuff to do with quantizing and scales and auto-tuning and things like this. all things that I need to get my head around to move forward in the software I'm developing for this new module. So the beginning of the week was spent finishing off my advanced LFO, because it's only advanced because it has things like wave shaping and symmetry, cool things like that. I had to wrap my in the DSP processing on that, and I've got that done, and come out unscathed, which is always good. You may see a little thing rotating next to me, which I had no intention of leaving on camera, but I'll show a close up on it later, because that's just a gadget I've got, which will be good fun for doing stuff on my store with modules and stuff, photography related. I could show later on. Apart from that, yeah, I did a bit of music. Not much this week, not as much as I'd like to. I still haven't had a good chance to get my teeth into the protein over there. I've done a few more sort of reading of manuals and getting to grips with basic editing. I think I spent about an hour trying to work out how to do something, and then realised, oh, that's how you do it. Geez, I just spent 59 minutes doing. So there's always, in every synth I've ever owned, there's always been at least one thing like that where you're just going. So, but that's what we're here for. Technology, gotta love it. But I'm enjoying it. It's a nice synth. So yeah, did a bit of stuff for Daren on Daren's track, as he mentioned, and that's pretty much it for the week. Oh, I did hoovering this week. A lot of hoovering, and I only slightly injured myself. So yeah, pretty typical of me whenever I do.
I don't think we need to know how.
It
certainly does suck.
I've been playing with your audio latency, Chris, and I've got you on minus 342 milliseconds right now. I think it's about as good as we're going to get it.
I was going to say that feels like 340 milliseconds I'm sitting on there.
Yeah. But if we need to reset it,
Okay,
let me know. Because at the moment you're in the negative.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. I will make a mental note. In fact,
Ooh,
I'll
we might
write it in
actually
my
just go
notes for
here.
the show.
I have a feeling Andy told us that he wasn't going to be here. I'm not sure. But we have to go. Someone can go back and look at last week's show. I forget. Anyway, what should we do now? Synth quiz, I guess. And then we'll get stuck into the rest of the segments. Let's do synth quiz. Oh, actually, no, we won't. We have to do this because I haven't done this for a while. Where's it gone? We have to do a thank you.
Yes.
List credits. Not that one. I always can't find it. Where is it?
Whenever you need it, yeah.
Yeah. Big hello to the chatties that are in the chat right now. If you actually are lurking in the chat, do jump in to the chat. No, that way. It's reverse hand pointing, because we want to know who you are and where you're from. And if you're a first time viewer live on the show, big g'day to you. And if you're wondering a little bit about these guys that are in chat, a lot of them have been in that chat for many years, so you might want to find some good mates that you can make by being part of this group. Synth Geekery. Right, let's do some synth quizzing. Thanks, by the way, to all those channel members and everything. It's fantastic. Let's go. Oh, dearie me, synth quiz time. And this time we rolled a few dice. We got out the Ouija board. We summoned some weird spirits, and none of that worked. And then I just pulled a few manuals out and decided to go the manual way, because that was a bit more. Anyway, your first clue this week is this one. And if you can palette this show, you might be able to solve this particular synth quiz. And if you guys are new and you don't know how to do synth quiz, there is a massive prize that you're going to win. That's called bragging rights. Yep. Give yourself a pat in the back. All you have to do is just chuck synth quiz and your guess into the chat. You can have as many guesses as you like, but your first guess is your official guess, unfortunately. Right. Guys, we are going to get stuck into the rest of the segments. Hopefully someone's already got a guess in there. If you don't put synth quiz in as your guess, like synth quiz and then your guess, then I can hear some other noises. Maybe Andy's here.
Yeah, sorry.
Someone's drinking in the
quiet,
background.
but...
All right, here we go. Let's go to the screen. Hi, Andy.
Hey. Hi,
How
Andy.
you doing?
Hi, Andy.
Awesome. All right, we'll. Why don't we quickly go across to you, Andy, and say good day to you, and then we can go back to the rest of the show. Right? We're about to start Funny Side. So you ready?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
How's your
Sorry,
week been,
guys,
mate?
I overslept a little bit. It was all right. Same old stuff, just working and this and that. Nothing, no new music stuff to speak of. I did recently pass the 1,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. It was kind of cool, so happy about
well
that.
done.
But yeah, thanks. Took a long time. Jeez. Yeah, it's fine. It's that's all I can think of for now. So I don't want to take too long, but yeah, happy to be here. So thanks.
No problem at all, mate. All right, we're just going to get straight into the segment, so we're just going to go straight to Funny Side. Here we go. Yes, is the first part, and then but is the second part. This is probably one of the rare times when I actually will use one of Florian's memes. So well done, mate. Good job. Watch his latest episode and you'll see that meme. I'm sure he'll like it that he's on here. I know what he's like. Yeah. Big shout out to him too. Right, next we have this one. So what would be your ultimate goal in getting a position with our firm? A shit ton of money. Have you seen how much modular synths cost?
That's my reason for not doing modular.
Indeed. Next is to be 303 or not to be 303. That is the question.
Yeah.
That is so good.
It's a good one. I think it's done a few different versions over the years as a meme. So that one is on the back of a hoodie. Great idea. Maybe we should do that as a Ranzee or Synth Geekery merch. I think that's a pretty good idea. Right. Next one. Which is your artistic skill? Track selector? Okay, pretentious artist. Maybe it's supposed to be or pretentious artist. I think it's supposed to say or pretentious. I don't know. I don't really get it, but I think the pretentious part is kind of the big slap that they're going for. And we'll take a slap. Ian likes to have a few slaps. Let's launch sorry, Ian. Let's launch.
That's fine, mate. Yeah.
The poll started in the YouTube chat. Hello to everyone else on the other platforms. Hello to people on Facebook. Hello to people on Twitch, on Trovo. I can't remember what else we're streaming on, but hello to every other person on there. Unfortunately, the poll only works in YouTube, so jump on over there. Options are 0 for yes, 1 for costs, 2 for TB or not to be, and 3 for pretentious. So what you do if you're new, you just follow what the guys in chat are doing. Just follow them.
Yeah.
That's really easy. The easiest part. What they do is what you do.
You can even do it on your phone.
Lemmings.
It actually works on your phone. It actually is pretty cool.
It does anyway.
Yeah. Except for the autocorrect. I've been told that sometimes autocorrect changes the words and
it does do that.
Got to fight with the autocorrect. But a little tip, if you've got an Apple phone and you're typing something and you don't want the auto to correct, you just use that little left-hand option just above where you're typing, and it's in quotes. Just always click on that. It'll force it to type it. Little tip.
Didn't know that.
Right, we got 9 votes. I'm just waiting for one more. I like to get 10 votes because it tends to give a reasonably tiny sample if we're doing statistics. I remember years ago, I did stat at uni, right? And we did a group exercise. We've got 10 votes, by the way. We'll wait for this other. We did a group exercise. You go to uni and you have to start doing group exercises with people, and it sucks because you always get stuck with some numpty, idiot, brain dead twerp. Anyway, this guy, he goes, I'm going to go out there and do the clipboard thing and collect the data. And we're like, this guy seemed like a pretty outgoing, dynamic sort of personality. We thought, okay, we'll let this bloke, off he goes. Comes back and we're like yelling out, okay, so have you done it? He goes, I haven't been out, I haven't had a chance, I've been busy, mum's been sick, the dog's vomited, like a million excuses, right? Weeks and weeks, and then we've got about like 3 days left before the assignment's due to the handed in. Mate, have you been out? And he's lying to us now. He's like, yeah, I've been out, I've just got to hand it to you guys, I haven't had a chance. We know this guy hasn't, but he's just lying. Anyway, cuts long story short, we get to literally the day we have to hand it. We're within hours of the deadline. And the guy we caught him down at the tavern at university, right? Drinking, playing pool. Walked up to him and I said, buddy, you're grabbing a clipboard. He goes, what? You're grabbing a clipboard. We're going to go and we're going to do this little data research thing right now. Oh, yeah, okay. So we grab the clipboard, we walk outside, it's pelting down with rain. He got 10 interviews done with people that were really in a hurry, didn't want to talk to him. And we handed in to the teacher, to the lecturer, and you should have heard what she said about data subsets and how 10 is like a sin, basically. If you've only got 10 data items, it's complete sin. Anyway, we got in a lot of trouble. Our mark was pretty bad, but as a group, you have to hand in this thing called what did you do as part of the assignment? And so you put in what we did, we put in, and all of the guys were like typing in their bit, and they were going, this guy, he was bloody useless. He didn't do the research. And so we all got like 80, we all got something like 80-something% each, and this guy, he got like 30%. And he's like getting really pissed off with us, and he's like, what? Why did you guys get 80% and I only get 30%? Because you're at the pub.
Yes, exactly. Working on your beer gut.
Anyway, we're going to stop the poll. We are going to stop the poll, and we had 10 votes, that'll do. To be or not to be is the winner.
Absolutely.
So let me just grab that back up again for you. The little jacket, there you go. Nicely done. All right, news time. There it is. You guys saw it during the week, I'm sure. It's been floating around video after video after video. Arturia Keystep have released a Mark II 37. I've got the 37 here. I actually only had my 37 for, I don't know, a few years maybe. And I really like it because it was really the Keystep that they should have brought out originally. Anyway, this is here. It's new. They've basically facelifted the 37 so that's in tune with the standard Keystep. So if you go and have a look at a photo of a standard Keystep Mark II, it's got the similar buttons, the OLED display, all that sort of stuff, right? So that's what they've done. That's really the gist here. Now, in the Saturday Sonority section of today's show, I want to pose a question, and it's really this that's fueled it, is do we really need sometimes to bring out new hardware? Let's not talk about corporate profits for it in this. Let's just talk about sensibility, right? Do we really need to bring out hardware? Was the hardware really that wrong on the previous Keystep 37 that we needed to bring out? with any functionality. Maybe they ran out of space within the processor. I don't know, whatever the reasons are, right? But why do we need to bring out new hardware? I want to know, using this as a guinea pig, I guess, and there's other things that you could also bring into the argument. I want you guys to tell me this later, but I want to know, was this particular one really needed? Is there so many cool new features on this that you guys are going to be snapping your old Keystep 37.5, chucking it in the whiz bin, and down to the local shop you go and buying this? That's what I want to know. But while we're at it, let's have a short chat about what this is and why and who and how and when. I can tell you a little bit, and then you guys can tell me everything else you know. So, price. If you're living in Australia, let's start with alphabetical prices. Chris and me, $349 for this baby. Personally, don't think it is valuable for that. If you're living in the euro, we'll do E next, euro, $229. If you're living in the UK, $189. And if you're living in the US, $229 again. They're the prices.
180. Wow.
Yeah, and let's put Ian up there because anyway.
That's a lot more than I expected it to be.
Yeah, I did a little comparison on this, just so that we could get an idea of what's the difference between the Keystep 37 Mark 1, what's in Keystep 37 Mark 2, and just as a little sidey, I thought I'd put in what's in Keystep Mark 2. Not the Keystep 37 Mark 2, just the difference between, if you wanted to go, okay, what's the difference between a Keystep Mark 2 and a Keystep 37 Mark 2? So it just gives you a bit of an idea of the three. There's obviously other choices there too. There's more key steps, right? Anyway, we'll do Keystep Mark 1 versus Keystep Mark 2. How many keys have both of them got? Well, it's a Keystep 37, so you would assume they've both got 37 slim keys, and it does. Are there any difference in the keys? Are they better? Is it better aftertouch? Is it better design? Don't think so. All it's got in my research is that they both have aftertouch, the Mark 1 and the Mark 2, and they're both slim keys. So as far as I'm aware, I don't think there's any better development with the keys. Someone in chat could tell me if that's a thing or not. The display is an OLED, a high-res OLED in the new one, so that might be a cool thing. The old one had like a segment LED display. So obviously you can't fit text and things like that on there. Both have got not standard, I won't use that word. Both have got 4 knobs. The Mark II has contextual encoders, whereas the Mark I has a standard potentiometer that goes from 0 to wherever it turns around to its max. So it's literally like a variable resistor. Yep, that's definitely the case. I'm just checking my Keystep Mark I right here. There is 1 CV mod output on the Mark I, and there's 2 on the Mark II. So you're getting rotary encoders, 2 CV outputs. There's 4. You're getting high res OLED. So there's a few benefits there. Then you've got these generative tools. Now, this is where it becomes the same as the Keystep Mark II. So Keystep 37 Mark II, Keystep Mark II. Both have got these new spice, dice, and mutate features that they've taken out of the Mini Freak. And they've got the arpeggiator out of the Mini Freak as well with the phrase ARP. Both the Keystep 37 Mark II and the Keystep Mark II have got that, but the arpeggiator on the Mark I is only an 8 mode arpeggiator, so double the modes, I guess. Visual feedback, obviously you've got LEDs above the keys on the Mark I, which was always a really, really good thing, but the new one has RGB LEDs above the keys, which is also on the normal Keystep as well. There's expanded scale modes on the Mark IIs. So when I say Mark IIs, it's both the Keystep 37 Mark II and the normal one. And both of the Keystep 37 Mark II and the Mark II has a power switch on the back. So there's a list. I'll have that list published in the blog article, which is linked below. You can see it, the title there. Probably a key takeaway, I think, is people will probably like the OLED display, I think, because it's got some visual feedback coming through there with what you're doing. I definitely think people will like that, especially if they're going into doing that generative stuff, because I feel like you need to know what's going on, and that takes the mini freak stuff into it, right? But connectivity wise, I don't know, I didn't mind the USB type B connector on the back of the Mark 1 because it was solid. It's very hard to snap those. The new ones have got USB-C connectors on them. I don't know, you guys are a fan of USB-C? You can't plug it in the wrong way. That's a benefit, I guess.
Better than USB-B Mini, that awful thing.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
much better than Mini.
Yeah.
But
USB B is a great connector.
The USB-B is great for anything like, that's going to get knocked about a bit. I still think it's always good.
Now the other
Especially
thing,
the room, the case is not skinny, so
the other thing we should remember is, do you remember when they brought out the Mark II for the key step? Not that long ago, and they were having a big thing about how light it is compared to the original key step. So I think they took away the bottom metal. There was like a bottom metal plate or something, and it made it lighter. So I'm not sure if the key step Mark II is different. Someone could do a quick Google for me, because I've only got the key step 37 Mark II weight here, which is 2.4 pounds or 1.09 kilograms if you're playing along in Australia or those places which actually use proper weights and measures and decimal currencies and things like that. None of this stupid bloody divide it by 8 times it by 16. Carry the bloody... Oh my god. Anyway.
Fractions. Gotta love them.
Gotta love fractions. Yeah, especially when you get wrenches. Eh?
Oh yeah.
Go and get me a 132. Go and get me a 132, will you?
3/8 wrench. Yeah. While there, get me the tartan paint.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, talk about
the great
this,
thing is we
boys.
didn't come up with that system. We just kept it. You guys moved forward, and we got stuck with it because people here are too stupid to use the metric system.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I know you voted for it. Be honest.
Yeah.
We use
metrics. It makes more sense.
We use both. That's how brilliant we are.
Yeah, I know.
that's
Yeah,
true.
we
Still
do.
use
Yeah.
miles, right?
Yeah.
Hi,
We do use
it's
miles.
Leona.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a little look at the lovely lady from Arturia. We'll just watch the little intro. This is really just for those people who have not... Sorry, Aaron's going to take you off for a sec because
Don't worry.
we want to see all of her. No, we don't.
And in
There we go.
this video, I'll walk you through the Key Step 37 MK2. We start with what this instrument is all about, and then focus on what makes it different from Key Step 2. Let's dive in. Key Step 37 MK2 is a compact keyboard controller and creative sequencer built for hybrid setups. It bridges software, hardware synths, and modular gear, letting you spark ideas in your DAW, control your synths, and patch modular systems without breaking your creative flow. Just like Key Step 2, it combines a playable slim key keyboard with a powerful sequencer, arpeggiator, chord mode, and generative tools. But Key Step 37 MK2 takes this core concept further by focusing on hands-on
format
control,
there,
performance workflow, and deeper
I like that we're
interaction
tiny on the other side.
with features. Before we dive into the details, let's take a quick look at what Key Step 37 MK2 can do creatively.
Sorry, I had to do that. It was pretty cool.
Getting ready to dance to music.
You can watch the other 7.5 minutes of that video yourself, because that's what you. If you want to torture
I
yourself,
hope they didn't
no,
pay
I'm
for
just
that
kidding.
background music.
On your
I'm
time.
just kidding. Who's buying one of these?
I was tempted to, but now I hear that they don't have the metal, or they may not have the metal backing. I'm going to investigate further, because that weight I found was kind of essential.
that weight was
for
miles better.
stopping the thing from moving around.
No longer heavy metal. I don't know. It could be. Did anyone
I'm not sure if that's a
confirm
good
that?
move.
Anyone fact check that in the chat?
I'm more of a
My
fan of
original
Keystep
on the
Pro,
desk
anyway, so.
is solid, so, and that's the old metal one. So
Yeah.
if it's going to slide about more.
I'd like to put my £200 plus towards the Mini Freak.
Good
Good
one.
idea.
The Mini Freak
Yeah.
last year, it's nearly half the price, isn't it? So, I mean, you can pick up a Mini Freak now, a new one from Juno at $459. So, I mean, that's still on my radar to buy because I loved it. Actually, I've got the Micro Freak, which I also love. So, no, I wouldn't be buying this. I would be more inclined to buy that. I don't need something that. Well, I have got other keyboards that small, but I don't need this really.
All right. So Arturia aren't knocking on your door anytime soon. Kent is being a helpful physics teacher right now, but we'll just let that one go.
I've seen that, yeah.
There's the old joke. Which weighs more, 1 pound of metal or 1 pound of plastic? So.
Yes, good one.
You know, when people throw
feathers,
that
isn't it?
throws them off. It's hilarious. They go, plastic.
Pound of
is
feathers.
That's hilarious, yeah.
The feathers is the classic one, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like you would probably get this if you haven't got a Keystep 37 Mark
Yeah.
1. That would probably be why you would get this. I don't think the generative tools are that good. And like you guys said, if you had a Keystep 37 Mark 1 and you wanted to use those generative tools, you can just go get yourself a Mini Freak or a Micro Freak. I think they're in both, aren't they? So
They're certainly in the Micro Freak. I think they're in the Mini Freak.
And then you'd have the best of both worlds. You know, you'd have a little external controller. Anyway, look, at the end of the day, I don't mind the coloured, what do you call them, silicon buttons on the older ones. I don't mind them. I certainly don't mind
Translucent
potentiometers.
silicon, yeah.
I've had encoders die on me before from Arturia, and you know, I've got proof. There's videos on my channel for it. So, and I've had encoders die on me from Yamaha too, which is a surprising thing. But anyway.
Oh, Roland everything. I've had older Roland gears.
Yeah.
Crap, so, yeah.
So those like endless rotary encoders can be like shelf life. I mean, so can a potentiometer, but a potentiometer is much easier to replace as an electronic component because they're a bit more. What's the word, Chris? Not popular. Generic, yeah. A bit more available. Common.
They don't have extreme 1,300 different versions of them with slightly different dimensions and pin positions and number of detents and all of that. And different load force and like you just go on Mauser one day and Google encoders and there's like 10,000 or something different.
It's insane. And when I was looking for the BeatStep one, it wasn't easy to find because there was a certain thickness of the base of the encoder which is underneath. You don't see it because underneath the top panel there was certain pin out, and there was a whole bunch of things and all that stuff that Chris mentioned as well. So yeah, there's a resistance on them as well. Right. I think we should be moving on to the next, which is this. The Midify Zeta Sid. Now this is actually a eurorack module. Okay, and what you're seeing here is two of them plus there's another Midify module which is the Nexus MIDI thing. So that's what you're seeing there. But this is actually pretty cool because what you're seeing is actually a Commodore 64 sound into eurorack. Now it's not the first person to do this, but getting the Commodore 64 sound into a nice little small form factor is pretty cool. So Midify, they've just launched this. It's only a 4 HP module, so you can see two of them next to each other there. Now it isn't just a simple oscillator according to them. It's actually a expandable module in the sense that you can get multiple versions of these. You'll see it in the video in a sec, and you can link them together and they play together nicely. They play But also on top of that, you get access to the actual SID chip and all its power. And if anyone knows a little bit about the SID chip, you know it's actually quite a powerful sound chip, where it's got the basic one would have 3 oscillators, a filter, and some ring modulation, and a whole bunch of other bells and whistles in that.
Noise generator.
Yeah. So it's a faithful recreation of the original 6581 or the 8580, which means that you're actually getting an emulated SID chip on this thing. So that's a little bit of a disappointment to me, because I thought, wouldn't it be cool if they made it so that you could actually plug your own SID in there and actually have access to the original SID, which are getting old now in the 1980s, but I've got a few here floating around. But it is they're using this PHY bus connectivity. I'm not sure if that's MIDI PHY's own technology. I'm thinking it is.
Sounds like it is.
Sounds like it is. So what they're saying is, while a single module works as a monophonic voice with CV gate control, you can actually chain up to 12 of these modules together to create a 6-voice stereo polyphonic synthesizer. And it also features animated OLED display in the middle of that module. You'll see it in the video anyway. This is where the OLED display, it provides real-time feedback of the oscillator, filter curves, arpeggiator patterns, and a whole bunch of other things in there. Kind of looks cool when you've got multiple ones going at the same time. So it does have the authentic SID engine on each model. It has dual modes. It has a lead mode with 3 oscillators, selectable filters, and ring mod. It has a drum mode where it allows you to access up to 16 parallel lo-fi percussion instruments with 19 parametric algorithms. It has advanced sequencing with quad wave sequencers, track style wavetables for complex stepwise parameter modulation. It's expandable, as I said before. It's got full MIDI integration with CC mod wheel and pitch band when paired to the Nexus MIDI expander, which you can see pictured here. And it actually has patch storage, which can be stored and saved and retrieved via a little micro SD card in the slot there. You can actually have 100 factory patches on there while you're at it. 4 HP, 30 millimeters deep. Price, if you're living in Australia, $315. If you're living in Europe or the US, $199. And if you're living in the Great Britain that are using the pounds, it's $169. So if you guys are interested in this, let's watch the video. I definitely was pricking my ears when I saw this. Just out of curiosity, Chris, did you know about this? You tend to be across this stuff. You tend to be across this stuff.
No, I didn't see this one.
I saw the video
Yeah, I
a
saw
couple
it
days ago.
Yeah.
All right. This is only a minute long, so let's watch this from the... I'll just rewind it right to the 0 second mark so we don't miss anything. Look at all those little OLED displays.
They do look cool.
Ian, I know this is... I'm just going to pop you up here for a sec. I know this is a eurorack module, but you can actually buy this in a ready-to-go case with the MIDI module as a polyphonic synthesizer. So it can be a useful thing. It doesn't have to be eurorack technically, all right? So I'm just letting you know. Cool. Watch this.
Yeah, no.
There we go. That is the Zeta Sid from Midify. Pretty cool, I thought. Like, looks nice in the little sort of when you've got them all sort of connected and you've got different things going on that screen. Quite a nice little sort of
great,
looking thing. Yeah. What do you guys think?
It's nice.
Sounds
Cute.
nice, very
I quite
nice.
like the
Some
idea that you
interesting
can buy it in
techniques
like
as
a
well.
ready-made box. You know, a ready-made module with quite a few in. That'd be quite interesting.
Yeah. I'm going to show you guys the website where they do talk about this.
Oh, cool. I am a little disappointed at one thing. It says the product stand is not included. I really want that product stand.
Yeah.
It's just a 3D printed thing, though. Okay.
I know it's just a 3D printed thing, but it's better than anything I've ever come up with. Damn it.
Blue. It's blue. Look at the colours. Colours great.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know. I know I can copy it. I will be copying it.
Now, where's these examples that they showed here? It might be on the Buy Now page. Yeah, it might be on here. This is where I saw it. Yeah, there we go. So you can buy it as a single module there, or you can buy it in these. See these bundles? So that's the one there with the dual stereo pair. Let's just click on that so we can have a look at that. Maybe it was just a picture that kind of threw me. I thought it was in a case, but maybe they're just doing that with graphics. Because that looks really cool if it is. I think they just done that with graphics. So they've misled me a little bit there, but that's okay. You wouldn't be hard to put it in a pod, Ian. That's the point. Now this has only got 4 of them, so you'd want to have more than that. You'd want to have 12. But geez, that's 4 and it's $949.
It's quite expensive.
Yeah, it's getting
Yeah,
on
now
a
you're
bit.
going. Yeah, which is a shame.
Yeah.
So 2 is $389. So obviously 2 is only $10 cheaper than buying 1 times 2. That makes sense. So yeah. Yeah. Anyway, what's that rattling sound? Who's rattling? Someone's rattling. Daren, is that you?
Rattling.
I don't know.
No, I'm innocent. Trust me.
Probably Andy. Andy's the one that's being quiet right now.
It wasn't me. It was the chips packet. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Could you, do you mind humouring me for a moment, Rance?
yeah.
Could you zoom in on that photo at all? The main
I can.
picture
So you
down the
just
bottom
you want to
where
make
the
it.
switch is. Yeah. No. I can do this myself at home. You know, I wanted to show the people. Can you see now? If you look at the line of the front panel, how it bends at a sharp angle, rebates, and then comes back out again.
Mm-hmm.
What on earth is that panel made of? That's what I wonder. Because I thought, is that 3D printed? No, it's not 3D printed. But has it been injection molded? Is it plastic? It's a plastic front panel. But no, it's like there's a whole lot of silk screening on it, and plastic's really hard to silk screen. So I believe, and I could probably find this out by doing more research, that is an aluminium extrusion that they've used to make the panels out of, which
Yeah.
I think is original. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. Now what?
So just a little trivial piece of detail that I thought was interesting.
If anyone was unsure what Chris was talking about, I'm going to bring the telestrator out and explain. He is talking about this, how it does that. Do you see?
I was looking in the wrong place.
So normally a eurorack panel would just go straight, right? Like that.
Yeah.
But this one doesn't. It goes down and then back up again. So that's what he means. But yeah, there we go. That's pretty cool. How do I reset all this crap now? There we go. There's a big fat reset button. There we go.
I screwed up the show now.
No, you haven't. Anyway, enough being a clown with a crown. A clown with a crown. I thought that was pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah. The only thing is, it's going to be expensive to buy 12, and I'd want 12. I really would want 12. And if they're only $10 cheaper when you're buying multiples of them, that's yeah.
12's going to be not cheap, is it?
You're only going to save $120, Darren. No, $140, whatever. Anyway, I did math. Next, we have another Eurorack module just for Ian, because I know he loves Eurorack.
Wow! Yay!
This is by Noise
Keep
Lab.
trying, guys.
This is the Analog Drums Drum Designer. I'm just going to pop Ian off for a sec because he's covering that top right-hand corner so he can see it. This is a little to be sort of released type job. But up the top right-hand corner next to the resonator word, there is actually a 3-position toggle switch, which you can't really see because I should zoom in for you. Maybe you can see it now. All right, so just bear that in mind a bit later when we're talking about stuff. There is a little 3-position toggle switch, and it's got a diamond, a square, and a circle that are different colors above it. Okay. Other than that, you guys can see that there's another 3-position toggle switch under pitch and under tone. Just in case you can't see that, there are a 3-position toggle switch as well. All right. The Drum Designer is a compact drum module built around a set of essential drum voices, each one with its personality of its own, drawing inspiration from legendary drum machines from analog style as we know and love. The Drum Designer interprets those classic sounds through entirely new circuit design, resulting in something familiar yet original. Built to thrive in any modular setup, you can feed it gates from your favorite sequencer, or you can source are capable of generating rhythm patterns and let the Drum Designer deliver punchy and characterful drums with confidence. With a pretty easy to see and understand interface, I actually think it's a pretty good thing to have if you just wanted to have a module that doesn't take up a massive amount of space. It's 18 HP, Chris, and it's got all the drum sounds in it that you want. It might just be one of those things that you're after. The kick that really kicks, apparently, is heavier than you'd expect, designed to hold its ground on any dance floor. It's a banger, they reckon. The snare doesn't come from the Volca Beats. It's a short, light, and snappy, heavy, long, and dark.
Good.
It equally comes home in techno and pop and even the darkest goth band. The hi-hat cuts straight through the mix with ultra snappy ticks to long, clangorous textures. The metal or cymbal is a ride or line, whatever you want, from light jazz to a full-on sheet of heavy metal. And the resonator, which is not your ordinary drum voice, is designed for exploring external waveforms, and this circuit features a resonant band pass filter that easily self-oscillates. In addition to external sources, it can be driven by internal noise, which is the left switch position, or a mix of the 3 square waves in the center position. That's what the switch is for now. And then the clap. You don't need to see a doctor. It's actually a classic hand clap with an optional extended tail and some extra rooms for the sound. There you go. Each voice has its own dedicated output, which is what I like to see, and there's also a main mix, which you guys can see as well. So the aux in up the top right is for the resonator, and then you've got your own individual outputs, plus you've got the mix. Pretty cool idea. The only question I've got is how it sounds, and guess what?
No,
We have no idea.
They haven't done one yet.
They haven't done a video. So Noise Lab,
Well, they must
please
have
do a
decided
video
they'd
for us so we can
get
hear it.
more interest if. Yeah.
Not even a terrible
Okay,
speaker-only
yes,
demo?
we're gonna get more people
Well,
interested.
I was having a look on Modular Grid, and there's some weird like links under the YouTube thing, and every time I clicked on it, it sort of made all the squares rearrange on the screen. So I just gave up, and that was in the quick, research that I did on it. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But anyway, I went to noiselab.se, which is their website. So they're Swedish, and they do say Noiselab Sweden. There is a YouTube channel, but there's no video on their YouTube. I didn't get a chance to look on Instagram. I'm going to quickly do that now, see if we can find something on Instagram. Yeah, there is something about it at Superbooth, so maybe we might be able to find a video on Superbooth about it. Bristronica had something about it as well. So I can't show those videos, guys, because they usually are people walking around, and they have their own YouTube channel. I need permission. So
Can you just play the audio of it, or is that still a no?
No, you can't do that. Anyway, these guys have got quite a lot of modules, and like I said, there's a Sonic State video from 2025 on this thing. But the good news is this is actually now going to be available soon in stores. So how long ago was Superbooth? It was almost time for another Superbooth. That's how long ago it is. So it's taken them a while to get this thing out. By the way, Chris, it's 0 to 5 volts on the trigger for these. So you could have a little trickle trigger, or you could have a big 5 volt slap of a trigger going into this thing.
It's better to be sensitive to 5 volts. Sorry.
Yeah,
that's always preferable.
Yeah. If we could hear it. So if Noise Labs are actually watching, I know you guys did Superbooth. You had great coverage from Sonic State. Can you guys put your own video out of this thing? You've obviously got the module. Put your own video out. Put your own audio. But even chuck something on SoundCloud, dare I say it, or something like that, so we can actually have a listen to this thing. Okay. So I can't find it. If anyone else finds it in chat, let me know, and I'll see if I can bring it back up later on in the show. But I am really, really interested in this thing. I think it's got some ideas. I want to hear what it sounds like. They're claiming that it's got its own personality. So let's hear what the personality is.
Seems clever.
Yeah. Prices?
Nice
did I mention prices?
Features. I quite like it.
No.
I didn't mention 370 euros. They actually do have a price on this. So it's probably a little bit on the steep side. But you got to remember too, if these guys are just a little boutique, might be a one-man band, might be a two-man band working out of Sweden, 370 bucks in euro is not a lot of money to be making on something like this. And if they're only selling a couple of hundred of these a year, it's, they're not going to be paying the mortgage on it. Do you know what I mean? So that's why you'll see some of this stuff go for more than you think it's worth. And it's purely because of how they've got to be able to cover their costs somehow. And a lot of them actually, they cover their costs, but they don't really. So I reckon a lot of them,
labor of love.
They sweat over the price.
Labor
trust
love.
me.
Yeah.
Whenever we bitch and moan about the price, I'm telling you right now, they are literally, they're going, oh God, I can't win.
Also, if you're looking for a unique drum sound, don't bypass the Volca drum. It's very tunable, very tweakable, interesting drum synth.
Yeah.
And it's cheap.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's cheap, yeah.
Yeah. All right. We haven't left Eurorack. Well, we have left Eurorack for a while, but we haven't left Eurorack on the show because I've got another one that I want to show you just for Ian.
Yay!
Ian, I know you're into
It's my Christmas.
I know you're into generative stuff. Okay.
I am.
This is the Shroud of Turing. I'll just pop you off there so you can see that. It is a 1U Eurorack module. So 1U is the IntelliGel format. Okay, so you'll see cases where they've got the 3U modules and then above or below they've got the little 1U, right? And generally a lot of people use the 1U modules for connection type stuff. utilities, connections, that sort of stuff. So this is perfect. This is a little sequencer, right? Okay, so what this is basically what you think it is. It's a Turing machine sequencer with quite a lot of cool little features on it. So instead of me telling you, I'll go back and tell you in a sec, but why don't I just play the video and you guys can have a look that way. I'm just going to take Ian off for a sec. Here we go.
But the Shroud of Turing goes further with a built-in keyboard that you can use to quantize voltages into notes in an additive way. Once you have a group of notes that you like, you can save that scale into one of 6 user slots in order to recall them again anytime you want on the fly. And that's not all. You can also manipulate a locked sequence to suit your performance in different ways. The Shroud of Turing has the built-in ability to reset, so you can get the start of the sequence to align with your song. And of course, it also has the ability to shift the first note of the sequence forward or backward, and even has a boot up mode that makes straightforward CD keyboard. But we'll get into that later in the video as I cover the latest firmware in this Nocturne Alchemy platform. What is the Nocturne Alchemy platform, you say? Well, it's the hardware platform that the Shroud of Turing runs on. And it's the same platform that the 7th Summoner, the Arp of Darkness, and the Sleight of Hand all run on. Same exact hardware, it's just firmware. So by buying any one of these, all the other firmwares are free. You basically get 4 modules in one. Alright, so with all that out of the way, let's take a deeper dive into how this module can help you harness the power of chaos.
Okay, you guys can watch the other 15 minutes on that video in your own time. But pretty sort of pretty excited guy. Let me quickly go over the It's based on the Music Thing modular Turing machine, if you're wondering. Okay, so if you guys have ever had it, this is for Eurorack people. Sorry, Ian. If you've ever had a Turing machine, most people would have had a Music Thing modular Turing machine because they were kind of like one of the
2HP one.
Kind of one of the first that came out, and then a whole bunch of people made variants on that original one. It does evolve the concept with the performance side of this thing, as you can see with the keyboard and things like that. It's got you'll like this, Chris. It's got a 16-bit shift register at its core, and that generates the evolving pseudo-random CV, right? And then turning the probability knob on the left, you can actually sweep from completely different random melodies to locked repeating loops. So you can actually find something that you like, lock it in. So the Music Theme modular kind of did that, didn't it? From memory.
Yeah, that's a standard Turing machine.
Yeah. So what sets this apart is the musical built-in quantizer. And if that helps, it does, because I remember getting a Music Theme modular Turing machine and thinking this thing's going, that sounds like a cat because nothing's in tune.
Yeah, you have to add a quantizer.
You've got to put it through a quantizer.
We've all been there. Yeah.
So that having a quantizer built into it is friggin' awesome. And then it actually has that keyboard on top of that, which is good. Then and the keyboard helps you in the way that he showed in the video, where you can generate your own scales and things like that. Right. And you can stay in tune while you're doing it. So you can actually play it while it's randomly generating, and then you can manipulate it with the keyboard. In there is there's a scale memory. You can save and recall up to 6 scale memories. There's a pattern rotation. You can nudge your patterns forward and backwards or shift it downbeat. Really, you can create variations. That's pretty cool. You can do a manual bit editing, so you can clear or set individual bits manually. So you can do a little bit of step editing on this, which is pretty cool. Yeah. And that's one thing that I used to get frustrated with the Music Thing modular. I would like to go in and just take one of those little, crazy notes out without having to regenerate a whole thing and start again. So that's really cool. It's kind of almost like more control, right? And then you've got the variable loop length, where you can set between 3 all the way up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 12, or 16 steps. And you can see the numbers down the bottom. And they talk about the Nocturne Alchemy platform, where this thing can be 4 different other modules. And you saw it in the video. He's got the 7th Summoner, There was some arcane thing. I forget what the arpeggiator thing. Yeah,
Straight keyboard.
bit of tarot sort of naming on this guy's stuff. 26 HP because it is a 1U module. It is IntelliGel based 1U, just to sort of spell that out. Pricing: Australia 345, Europe 215, US 225, England 180. And you can buy it right now on Reverb through their shop.
I love the idea of being able to put other things into it, other firmwares. That's a really great idea.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty good price in that sense, right?
Mm.
That makes it a good price.
I think it's a fair price for.
Also, you don't have to buy a quantizer for it, so it saves money too.
Yeah.
It really helps. It really helps. Now,
Because the music thing modular, when you add all the goodies together, it was very wide in HP.
Oh, when you added the it was.
The extra goodies.
Yeah, the voltage block and all them.
That's why I got the 2 HP Turing machine and the 2 HP quantizer, because it's only
tuner.
4 HP.
Tune 2. Yeah.
The tune, I've got both of those as well, and the ARP is good too. They've got a nice little ARP one.
The ARP is USB out only, isn't it?
No, CV based ARP.
USB in only. No, but I mean, it's for the MIDI. There's a MIDI part as well, right? Wasn't it?
No. That's a different one. This one is purely CV. Okay. Yeah, purely CV. I'm looking at it right now. For me, I don't have anything with 1U, so I would have to implement something 1U, and not that it's a problem, but it's just a challenge for me. But you can, with certain 1U modules, you can flip them around and make them into 3U modules, but it depends on their HP. So in this particular case, you can't, I don't think.
There's also clever for skinny modules, skinny HP modules. As a clever bracket, you can put them sideways in 1U. I use a bunch of those.
Someone can someone tell me if they know how many HP it is that you can rotate a 1U into a 3U?
I can work it out for you, Rance. How many HP is this thing?
This is 26 HP.
Widthwise.
Yeah, with
26 multiplied by 5.02 is 130.52 millimeters. It's too wide by 2 millimeters.
Yeah, so this should have been
128.5. Yeah,
this should have been a 24.
2 millimeters too wide.
25 HP, 24 HP, something like that.
I mean, it could technically still be. You could still call it 26, and then
shave a bit off.
Off each side.
Yeah.
So it might fit. You might find, it's not exactly 26 HP. It's just 26 HP is the nearest HP that it falls on. It's actually 128.5 millimeters high. I think it's so close that I suspect that might be the case.
Okay.
I got a feeling I've seen.
Yeah, the Steppy I have is too wide to flip.
But
it's extra long.
The other problem is with mounting them vertically is that the slots start to get really too wide or too close to the end of the panel, and it starts to look a bit weird and get a little bit dicey. So that might be the other problem. It's like if you can't fit the screws in, it'll fit in the space, but you can't get the screws in.
Yeah, because the screws aren't lining up for the right.
Yeah, because they're not quite lining up. They're just not quite. It's like
So what they could do, and I've seen other people do this, they make an exchangeable panel for it so that you can mount it vertically.
Yeah,
it changes all the graphics. So the graphics. Yep, Vafaco did exactly the same thing.
Do this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's a clever thing to do, and especially if this guy's got 4 interchangeable firmwares, he could sell the 4 different panels, right? I haven't been to his site, so let's assume that he may have even thought of this. Sell the 4 different panels, and also then sell a rotated panel version. Let me just have a quick look at his website, see if he's doing that. It was Reverb, so there wasn't a lot of stuff going on reverb.
It's very stock dependent. So that's the problem with whenever your store is one of these e-commerce providers. These e-commerce providers have a restriction, and that is you're not allowed to display non-sellable stock. So if you've got a range, but not everything is in stock at all the time, they remove it from visibility, and that's why a lot of people, manufacturers, go with even small ones can go with their own store, their own e-commerce store. Although it may seem like an unnecessary expense, but if you want to be able to display stuff that you can't sell all the time, and people put pre-orders and stuff like that, you need to have your own e-commerce site.
Well, the guy who does this, his name's Sean, by the way. So Sean, if you're watching, here's a suggestion for you: make a rotatable panel for each of these, and also sell the panels of all of these modules as a separate purchase, so that if you do decide you want to swap the firmware in and out, you can do that with a nice little panel change and a firmware update, and off you go. Sleight of Hand, Arp of Darkness, Seventh Summoner, and Shroud of Turing. I think we showed the Arp of Darkness on the show a while back. Can't remember if we showed the other two
at the same time. The Sleight of Hand one, because I got the feeling they came out at the same time.
Maybe, yeah.
The Sleight of Hand is just literally a keyboard.
There we go. That's it for news, by the way. So well done for Ian for sticking by and watching 3 eurorack modules pass you by. But I always say, Ian, you always get innovation in this world.
Absolutely,
so
we do. Yeah,
it's worth watching just for the coolness of that. One day it'd be cool to see someone do that sort of panel swapping, changing stuff on like a little module synth, not making it into a eurorack, but like making it into like a different, say you've got a Casio CZ, sorry, and then you might change the panel and it changes it to a Roland JD, or all these digital sort of things that are out there, DXs and stuff like that. You could actually have a panel changing desktop synth or something. That'd be cool.
You ever see those ASCII keyboards where you can swap out the covers for the different games?
Yeah. Be like that, hey?
Funny.
Yeah. All right, shall we have a clue for the quiz for the people who are waiting? I think this will probably just about give it away. Second clue is active tone. That is the second clue. That should probably give it away, I reckon. If not, you'll have to wait for the third clue, which should be on the other side of Price Watch. And that's not the right button. That's the right button. I do have about 400 buttons to press. Yeah. Okay. Andy. Ensoniq ESQ1.
Ooh.
Great synth, eh?
Hello, my old friend.
SQ80 is even nicer, but ESQ1 is great.
Yeah. But geez, $700 for this.
Ooh.
I didn't pay anywhere near that for mine. Because $700 US is probably getting close to about $1,000 Aussie, isn't it, Chris? Probably even a bit more. Yeah.
I think people are starting to catch on to the fact that it's the poor man's PPG wave, so they want to get one. So.
Yeah, but then they'll realise that it's not as easy to manipulate. So
it's fun though.
It doesn't have. It only has a couple of really good, some distinctive, some not just really useful.
It's super easy to program and sequence though. That's one of the powerful things about it.
Doesn't have as many.
The user interface on it is actually really insanely easy, because you can see all those buttons where the screen is. You've got 5 buttons across the top of the screen and 5 buttons below it, and literally you just press a button. Those buttons relate to whatever's on the screen, and that takes you to that. It's just so non-menu divey. It's brilliant. And it was basically a way for them to get around the fact that they couldn't put a lot of information on the screen in those days because they had LED screens, right? That was the reason for it. But
And I got
Yeah,
a
it's a bit-
cartridge.
it's a
Somebody
bit-
made a custom cartridge for it that has 4 times. Is it 4 times the normal cartridge, something like that? So you have a lot of patches in a little
Yep.
cartridge. It's nice.
where is
It's a bit pricey because 450 is the
There.
going rate over here. Right.
My ESQ1 is right there, behind the camera.
Needs
I,
new-
I forgot the
needs new
specs on it,
capacitors,
but
doesn't it?
on this sale, but it could be really good shape. That's probably why.
Mm.
A lot of them get beaten up.
Yeah, it's there's 2 issues with the SQ ones to my knowledge. One is the panel damage. The other is the innards in good working order. Because what you used to do is you used to get ESQ ones that just gave you nothing but problems in your circuit boards.
Me innards.
And then you had ones that were just sort of
Yeah.
the ones that were they were the ones that were made in the factory on Friday, and the ones on the other days of the week they're all top notch.
Just sharing
Plus
the
there are
eBay.
versions. There's a metal case one and there's the plastic case one that has the heatsink on the outside.
Yeah,
so it
that's true
depends.
as well. Yeah, the metal
Just shared
ones.
the eBay link with everyone in chat, by the way.
Heavy.
That's the eBay link in chat. Let's have a look. It does look like it's in pretty good condition.
Looks okay. Let's have a look at the. Is it the metal? It looks like it might be the plastic.
It's the plastic.
It's the plastic.
It looks to me to be the plastic.
Still looks in pretty good condition though for the plastic.
The plastic
If you
tends
click
to.
on the back, you'll see the heatsink sticking out if it's the plastic one. So
Maybe it's the metal.
Yeah, there it is. No, there's in the middle.
Oh, there it is. There,
In the
yeah,
middle,
yeah. There
right
it
in
is.
the middle. Fins, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. It's where the power supplies are.
Oh, you can tell straight away from that
right
view.
under the
That view
power supplies.
tells you
right
whether it's the
underneath-
plastic.
yeah.
Yeah, the
matte
power
finish.
supplies are right underneath the vacuum fluorescent display. Kent will be the only one to laugh at that.
Sensible. Is that what you say?
Honestly. Still, it's better than putting the vacuum fluorescent display right next to the sound generation.
When
Well-
when you consider the former Commodore
There's
audio
worse.
engineers that went off to form this company,
Yeah.
kind of amazing that the
It's-
keyboards were as good as they were.
Yeah. The guy that invented the SID chip
Yeah,
worked on
basically.
this.
Yeah, it's
Giannis.
Great little. Yeah. Giannis, yeah. Great little 8-bit computer inside there.
Indeed. What else we got? We have a Expressive E Osmos 49 key. Not surprised
With
to
deck
see
saver.
these. Not surprised to see these because they've brought out the big one, right?
Yeah.
So
But you
either
never get
they
that price that we got the 49 for.
wanted to get rid of this to get the bigger one, or they just wanted to get rid of this.
Some people just don't want them. Yeah. They don't.
Yeah.
It's not everybody's cup of tea.
This one is in Tennessee in the US of A. Let's go have a look.
Pretty fancy carpet for Tennessee.
That is a deck saver. Yeah,
Yeah, deck saver on it.
that is a deck saver. Nice. You can actually see it there.
Yeah, the keys are delicate. A deck saver would be good if you don't have a good case for it.
Yeah.
Not my cup of tea, sorry. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
love
I mean, I've played them. I played it, and I thought it was okay, but it was not really for me either because I'm an instrument player. So
I don't know what that price is like for you guys. You guys might think that that's a steal. You guys might think that you could probably buy a brand new one for similar dollars. But there is the Osmos link in the chat.
You watch people when they play normal keys and they do that thing with their finger on the key because they want to wiggle it so badly when they're doing
yeah,
vibrato-y stuff.
Yeah,
And here you can. So
yeah. If that's worth
great.
1,200, whatever it is, US dollars to you, then go your hardest.
yeah.
Go your hardest.
Well, that's funny because that's what it cost for early adopters like me, the Kickstarter thingy. It was about total price was about $1,100, $1,200.
Yeah.
So he's just selling it for
Yeah, I
the price it
didn't-
was new.
yeah. The new price is $1,500 here.
You're not saving a lot, are you? For something that's used.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, you're not.
Or I think
There's something about the wiggle of the finger with it as well on the key, if I remember rightly, because don't you end up sort of trying to move your key underneath the next key? There's
Why
something
is
about
Ian
I
always
remember
missing?
No, you have.
I'm
There is you can do that if you do extreme push and wiggle over.
Right.
You can get it caught, but you really have to be trying to do that. It's not easy to do that.
All right, okay. Yeah,
I've never had that.
I don't remember doing it when I played one, which was Gearfest.
Yeah,
2 years
it
ago.
can happen,
Huh?
but
I thought it was okay. I thought the engine in it's good, but
see, Wagyu knows he's an owner. He loves his Osmos.
yeah.
let's put Ian down there. Then he's not in the
Oh.
way. Next
Get me out of the way.
is the Alesis
Oh.
Micron.
Oh,
I love this little guy. I have one of these.
319
Yeah.
US is probably a pretty good price, to be honest, for this.
I had one of them.
You could probably get one
Became-
cheaper.
They rebranded as a Miniac years later. It's the same basic keyboard.
Yeah,
as
it's the
Miniac,
same thing,
so.
yeah.
This one's great because it had a polyphonic mode, or actually multi-timbral mode, where you could basically break the zones into different things. So like start an arpeggiator bass with one key and the sequence basically, and then you could bring in another section with another part of it, and then do a live lead on top of it. So you could actually build an entire track on this thing on the fly. It's pretty clever.
This guy has been on our eBay listings before, and he's got another one after this, I think. So we can recognize that table, the red tiles. Probably, if you guys remember, there's been a few listings from this guy. So he must have a fair bit of stuff he's flogging.
There's also an example of the newer version, even though it's small, being more feature filled, because this actually does more than the Ion as far as performance, but the Ion is easier to program. Oh, he's missing the slider cap. See that? At the top.
Yeah.
I don't mind it though when people do a video and they do it of the actual thing that's being sold. So
Yeah.
he does
Nice
show
cable.
that it's missing the cable. The cap. He does show it.
Well, the typical eBay video is just a guy playing every single key just to show you they work.
Yeah, because he's
Yeah.
found it. He's found it at a knock shop, and he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'll sell this." There you go. That'll do for
It
now.
has a nice vocoder on it too.
They're pretty neat little thing.
Yeah, they're
Pretty
I
neat
like
little
them a
thing.
lot. Cool.
What else is last? The Red Sound System Dark Star from the same guy.
Oh wow! I have the Mark II.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we've shown a Dark Star recently on.
This one you can swap
On
the
the
chip
server.
and make it the vocoder unit too, which is kind of cool. The older version.
But once again, this guy is on eBay. I'm going to share it again in the chat with you guys. If you're in the YouTube chat, that is. This is the Dark Star. And this is the eBay link. You guys can check that out. But we do have another little eBay listing to look at the video on. I'm going to go straight to it this time. His table's not flat.
I think he's
Turns
missing
out
a
it's
foot.
lost a foot.
Yeah, I think the foot has come off the bottom. The felt pad.
Anyway, that's definitely how it sounds. Yeah. $379. I didn't think that's too bad a price either. He's not trying to flog these things for too much. Anyway, hopefully he gets a sale. This guy's been putting a bit of gear on. Don't even know what his name is, but good luck. He's in San Antonio in Texas, this guy. The table is famous in the... yes, exactly, Wags. We were just saying that. Pay attention. Right. That is the end of Price Watch, and it is time for the third clue for the Synth Quiz. Ready, set, go. This should give it away. Watch Wagyu put his answer in. Go. 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 Too slow.
Come on, Wags.
I have no idea what type it is based on that last one, but I didn't see the first clue, so I don't know.
Someone wants him to include the table in the sale.
Yeah.
Wonder how many people have said that. Yeah. Yes. Put your clues in. Put your answers in for the Synth Quiz. Not your clues. Your answers. Put your answers in. Do what Chris did.
Well, he
Forgot to put the shit on the beginning.
Chris just put Roland. He didn't put the
Yeah, he did.
Synth Quiz. He didn't put Synth Quiz before it.
Oh, you're correct. So he technically...
Yeah, so that doesn't count.
Technically, it doesn't count. Yeah.
So
You're screwed, Chris.
Yeah.
Even if you got it right, you're screwed.
This is like when they do it wrong on the show and the person guesses the exact same thing but formats it correctly and wins.
Yeah. Exactly.
Don't you want to just punch the guy that's like running it though? You just want to go up and go, you are.
Well, you gave it away, right? So.
Yeah.
See you next Tuesday is what you are. Yeah. We will go to Synth Quiz. Ranzee, my guess is out. It's about being anal.
Well done, Chris. Yeah.
You forgot to say boutique.
Well, you got to practice what you preached, right?
While we're doing that, why don't we go to this segment here, because everybody loves this segment, and that is
soundtrack.
Come on, Chris.
On this day.
Yay! So, on this day, we could start in 1922 with Egypt was declared an independent country, but it's got nothing to do with synthesizers or music. So we won't start there. We'll start in 1942. Brian Jones from the Rolling Stones was born today. Best known as the founder and original leader of the Rolling Stones, he put an advert in Jazz News in 1962, inviting musicians to audition for a new R&B band. He came up with the name when a venue asked, "So what's the band called?" And he went, but he had a copy of the best of Muddy Waters lying on the floor. And apparently there's a track called Rolling Stones Blues. Sadly, as we all know, that the Stones kicked him out when his alcohol and drug problems became increasingly unreliable, and the poor chap died he drowned in the swimming pool in 1969. Was that me?
I think so.
Noise? Oh dear.
No, it's not. It's not you.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, that's good then. Right, also born on this day in 1948 was British musician and keyboard player Jeff Nichols, who was apparently a long-time member of Black Sabbath. Now, I didn't know that much about Black Sabbath, but I don't know much about Jeff Nichols actually. But he did play with them until his death. He also played with Tony Martin, who was a former singer of Black Sabbath, and his band Headless Cross. But it's not quite normally on my wheelhouse, really. Then we get to, also born on this day, 1957, Ian Stanley, member of Tears for Fears. So musician, songwriter, record producer. He joined Tears for Fears when he asked them to record in the studio, and obviously then became quite a crucial member of the band. The studio that they built was literally 3 miles from my house in a place called Beckington. So it's the Wool Hall Studios. It's now a private studio owned by a guy called Luke. I'm going to get his name wrong here. Luke Patashnik, but he works with people like William Orbit. He has worked with Take That and Westlife, but we won't hold that against him. But yeah, literally three miles from my door, and I go through. Interestingly, I go through Beckington all the time on the way to Bath. Also born today, Cindy Williams from the B-52, singer and founding member. Everybody's got to love the Love Shack, haven't they? Really. But she also sang with Ramones in the early 80s, and she did some work with Debbie Harry as well. Again, born today, 1957, drummer and songwriter, singer Phil Gould from Level 42. And we all know what the history of Level 42 is, Lessons in Love and all those other great songs. 1966, on this day, which was classed as the Beatles hangout, the Cavern Club closed. Now it closed, but the police were called when 100 music fans literally barricaded themselves inside the club to protest at its closure. The club had run into debts over £10,000, so basically, I guess the owners of the building or the land or whatever foreclosed on them. There was rumours that it then reopened as Eric's in the 1980s. It didn't. The Cavern Club was knocked down and filled in and became a car park. Opposite there was where Eric's was. I went to Eric's a couple of times. Went to see Elvis Costello there in 82, 83, something like that. And where the Cavern Club is now is literally nowhere near where the original Cavern Club is. But so it's a completely different.
A quick question about Eric's. I know the
good.
Yaz album upstairs at Eric's.
Upstairs at Eric's.
Did they perform there ever, or they just hung out there?
I think they performed there, but I only ever went downstairs at Eric's because I don't quite remember what was upstairs because it used to go through this doorway and literally there was a bloke stood there at the top of the staircase taking your money, and then you'd walk down into the basement. And a lot of those basements along there, you had the feel of the Cavern Club in Eric's, although I think it was quite a bit bigger because a few years ago as a holiday, I did a Beatles tour, and there's a recreation of the size of the original Cavern Club in the Beatles Museum in Liverpool, and it's not a very big club, But yeah, so the Beatles played at the original Cavern Club 292 times, and their final performance was on the 3rd of August in 1963. So moving swiftly on this day, 1970, Simon and Garfunkel became a 6-week run with their top album, Bridge Over Troubled Water. It was their 5th and final studio album. It featured Art Garfunkel on lead vocals as well as Paul Simon. And it won 5 Grammys, that album. And obviously it's been covered by lots and lots of people in the past, really. Everybody knows that album. I have to say I'm not a huge fan of the song Bridge Over Troubled Water, but I actually really like the album. 1970, billed as David Bowie's New Electric Band, because they hadn't got a name yet, they played the Basildon Arts Lab Experimental Music Club at the Basildon Arts Centre in Essex. Also on the bill was somebody called High Tide, never heard of them, Oversun, and a band called Iron Butterfly, who I vaguely have heard of, but don't know much about them. So what was this new band? It was actually, they became The Hype, and the members of The Hype was Mick Ronson on guitar, Tony Visconti, who became Bowie's producer, on bass, a guy called John Cambridge on drums, who was later replaced by Woody Woodmansey. So fundamentally, we had almost all of the Spiders from Mars, which was The Hype. Also, on this day in 1970, Led Zeppelin played a gig in Copenhagen as the Knobs. The reason they were called the Knobs was because Eva von Zeppelin had a relative of the airship designer threatened to sue if the family name was used in Denmark. So they played as the Knobs. Good on them, good lads. really. Again, on 1970, in an interview with New Musical Express, Fleetwood Mac's Peter Green talked about his plans to give all his money away. The following year, Green confronted his accountant with a gun after sending him an unwanted royalty check. The guitarist went to jail briefly before being transferred to an asylum where he was committed for mental health problems, really. And obviously he struggled for quite a few years, but then he did relaunch his career in the 1990s. 1971, born this day, Nigel Godrich, producer, and some arguably would say was the fifth member or sixth member of Radiohead. But recording engineer, musician, has been in bands with Tom York and other people as well. Has also worked with people like Beck, McCartney, U2, R.E.M., and Roger Waters. What else have we got? 1980, The Well-Tuned Piano by Lamont Young premieres. Now, if you've not heard The Well-Tuned Piano, it goes on forever. It's usually between 4 and 5 hours. And he considers it to be unfinished. So it's an ongoing improvisationary solo piano work. He began work on it in 1964. And he's, like I say, he's never considered it to be finished. But it's worth a listen, even if you don't listen to all of it. But certainly, it's certainly one of the more avant-garde pieces. And if you don't know Lamont Young, listen to his stuff. He's absolutely amazing. Some of his other work is fantastic. 83, today, U2, not Chew, released their third studio album, War, featuring the protest song Sunday Bloody Sunday. Now, I was a massive here we go again. Put my teeth in the end. U2 fan of those first three albums. So Boy, October, and War were for me the best three albums that U2 ever did. And I first heard them. I was going out with a girl from Dublin, so I went over to Dublin to see her, and literally every record shop up and down the street in Grafton Street and everywhere you went, you heard U2, but nobody knew them really in England when I went. So that was when the first album had come out.
Also, Under Blood Red Sky was a good live album too.
Yeah, and I did buy that actually, and I've still got that album. And
Live at Red Rocks, great concert.
It is a great concert. Yeah. After that, I really sort of lost interest in their work. Really, they didn't move.
You don't like
on
the Eno
me,
stuff?
If I'm honest. No, I didn't really.
Unforgettable Fire.
Yeah, I did buy that and then took it back and swapped it for Ultravox's greatest hits. So there you go with that one. Yeah, it was a good movie. It's a great album. So, also today, 1986, George Michael and Andrew Ridgeley announced that Wham would split in the summer. The British duo, one of the most successful pop acts of the 1980s, before they disbanded, released their final single, The Edge of Heaven. I don't remember The Edge of Heaven, actually, if I'm honest. I wish I had a soft spot for Wham. You know, good pop songs. I mean, let's face it, George Michael, great vocalist, great songwriter. I mean, and Andrew Ridgeley took care of the business side of it, allowing George Michael to write those songs and all that. So as a band, they were great, really.
When did they become Wham UK? That's how I knew them later on.
Is that because of America? So they were always just Wham here in the UK. So
that was
did they might have had to change it slightly for the States.
It's like Yaz was Yazoo. You guys said Yazoo because the name was already used or something.
Oh right. Oh, interesting. Yeah, we had an artist out here called Yaz, but
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
The Only Way Is Up.
What else have we got? Oh yes, here we are. 1997, Death Row Records boss Marion Suge Knight, who was slightly a bit of a dodgy guy, actually. I mean, I've read a book about Death Row Records. He was sentenced to 9 years in prison for violating his probation for a 1995 assault conviction. And under US law, he would not be allowed to run Death Row Records in prison. Not surprising, really.
He supposedly hung Vanilla Ice off a balcony to threaten him.
Did he really? Well, maybe
that's what they said.
Not such a bad thing after all, really. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 2008, Boy George. Here we are. These guys are all jailbirds, really. Boy George pleaded not guilty to false imprisonment of a male escort by chaining him to a wall. The singer and DJ was accused of assaulting this guy due to an alleged incident on the 28th of April 2007. He received bail until the trial. I think he got community service. I haven't checked that out, actually, but I don't think he actually did jail time in the end. I know he certainly did community service for some of his misdemeanors, really. But the trial was set for November, really. What else have we got? Adele was number one today in 2016 in the US and the UK with her third album, 25. The album was a massive commercial success, debuted at number one and in more than 25 countries.
She could have had it all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And on this day, 2019, the celebrated pianist, composer, and conductor Andrei Previn died at the age of 89 in his Manhattan home. I actually met his daughter. His daughter played in a band out of York, and we used to all hang out in a place called the Bars Club till the early hours of the morning. And I can't remember her name now, but she came. She put this band together with some of my mates, and they were rehearsing before they went on tour, and we were all down the Bars Club. It was a very good night. It was had by all, really. 2024, American sound engineer and radio engineer Bob Heel died at the age of 87. He founded the Heel Sound Company in 1966. He built touring sound systems for bands such as Grateful Dead, The Who, and he invented the Heel Talkbox, which blended the sound of voice and guitar and was used by people like Peter Frampton, mainly by Peter Frampton, but also Richie Sambora and Joe Walsh. And again, last year, on today, American singer, songwriter, and actor David Johansen of the New York Dolls died from cancer. Bless him. There's a really good documentary about. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, who was the character he played in Harry Potter? Because wasn't he the bus driver in one of the Harry Potter films? Anyway,
he did a bunch of acting gigs. He was in Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Yeah, there's a really, really good documentary about the New York Dolls and about them getting back together, because one of them was working in a library at the time, and all the other librarians didn't know of his past history in the New York Dolls. I saw it a few years ago, really. And the charts. So we've had a few things that have changed. So the UK singles chart, number one single today in the UK, it is Olivia Dean, but it's not the song it was before. It's Rein Me In by Sam Fender and Olivia Dean. I've not heard it, I have to be honest.
Oh, that's the collab one. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. I quite like Sam Fender.
Olivia Dean.
The number one album today, I didn't know this until I checked it out early this morning, is Prize Fighting by Mumford & Sons. Who knew Mumford & Sons were still together? Not really my sort of thing. Are they still a folk band or are they a rock band now or what? I don't know. Anyway, we're still in love with Wuthering Heights as a film. Apparently the soundtrack to Wuthering Heights, which is done by Charlie XCX, is worth a listen.
Oh yeah.
Now I hated Brat. I thought Brat was auto-tuned to death.
This is very good more. Yeah, this stuff's much more contemporary and more musical.
Yeah, I need to have a listen to this because I've heard good things about it, really. So US single, it's no longer Bad Bunny. That was last week. They finally rediscovered Taylor Swift. She's still there, is old Taylor. And it's number one with Opalite, which we had last week. Album is still Bad Bunny in the US. And your top film is still the same. It's still GOAT. In Australia, you really love Olivia Dean. So the single is still number one, but there is a new number one album, people. So apparently Hilary Duff.
I heard she's coming back.
I don't know her actually.
Yeah.
Apparently she's number one with an album called Luck or Something. I don't know it really. And I've sort of half predicted that Ed Sheeran will be number one because he was number two last week. No, he's gone down to number 9. You're still in love with Wuthering Heights like we are here in the UK. Although your number 2 film is Baz Luhrmann's Elvis Presley in concert. So I don't know. I don't know much about that, but might be worth a look at some point. It's a documentary, I think, isn't it? Is it the original Elvis Presley film? I wonder. Maybe. Anyway, I don't know. That's it. That's this week or this day. Today.
That's where.
Ask us anything. I'm reclining now because we've hit Saturday Sonority and stuff if you don't like it. The topic is what it said on the firmware or hardware. When a company brings out an update, should they bring it out as hardware? Should they bring it out as firmware? What do you think? We'll start with the Keystep 37 Mark II. What do you guys think? Should it just been a firmware update on the old one?
A real screen is nice to have. The LEDs are getting tired.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, you like it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not had it.
As long as he's good encoders, encoders are also nice. So.
Is it the same price than the old one was, or virtually similar?
I can't remember what I paid. I could probably find out what I paid for mine.
It wasn't that much more than the regular Keystep. I don't know if I remember correctly.
Did I buy it from Amazon?
Oh, before I forget, I forgot to mention this earlier.
Really?
JX3D stream later today, so on the Leviathan.
Oh yeah.
I paid 309 Aussie for mine, and I said to you guys earlier that the price was a bit more than that, didn't it? It was 349 Aussie for the new one.
Yeah,
So it's about the same. I mean, street price.
You could. That's probably inflation, isn't it?
Yeah, or street price differences. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that used to get me a little bit was the Electron Octatrack. They brought the Electron Octatrack out, and then they brought the Mark II out, and I'm like, really? I mean, how much difference was it? The Mark II to the Mark I? Wasn't a lot, was it?
Yeah. Some people are perhaps guilty of releasing for the sake of having a releasing cycle.
Yeah.
You could argue some products have been. I mean, in this case with Arturia, they've got a brand thing that they've got to kind of comply with. You know, they have to put out, and they have to align. If they've got one key step, all the other key steps have to come out and follow. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Although there's a huge difference between the original BeatStep and the BeatStep Pro. That was a massive change.
Yeah. Well, that was more of a product development thing, wasn't it? More than a.
It's take a change in direction.
The idea evolved. Yeah, change in direction, exactly. Some products are, when they're first released, they're sort of experimental, and then people go, "Hang on, I think we're onto something here." And the second product might have the same name, but it's actually a complete evolution. So it's deserves its second billing.
What about when Behringer did the?
Two is a big difference.
What about when Behringer did the MS 101? Then they had to change the name to the MS1.
Yeah.
And then they brought out a Mark II of the MS1. And all of them look pretty much the same.
Filter wrong or something? What was the difference of that? There was some error.
I think it was an envelope generator that got wrong on it. But yeah. What about when companies do that?
That was interesting.
So when I worked at Apple,
Is
we
that a
had
firmware issue?
a messed up release
Hardware.
that something wasn't caught in QA, and they had to have an emergency release, but added a few features so it didn't look so bad, like we screwed up. That's kind of what Behringer's doing with some of their stuff.
Sweetener.
When you own that,
Bad news.
like say you went out, there's a couple of things there. Say you just bought a Keystep 37 Mark 1 like last week.
Yeah.
Right? And they've just brought this out. This is where I got the idea for the topic, right? or you just bought an Octatrack Mark 1 and then 2 weeks later the Octatrack Mark 2 just came out, or you bought the MS1 from Behringer, and then they said they're going to bring out a Mark 2, which took another year, but they said they were going to bring one out. Do you remember that? So does that annoy you?
I think it would. I mean, it's never really happened to me. But I think
You've been lucky so far.
I have, yeah. I mean, I think Ken said that he bought the Roland TR8, and then soon after the TR8S came out.
You waited way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's tricky, isn't it? I noticed, interestingly, Arturia, they quite quickly, I think they were discounting. No, they released Pigments 3 quite soon after a promotion that included Pigments 2, or sorry, 7. It was 7 and 8, wasn't it? But there was, I remember I was involved in it because I did actually get the original Pigments that was on discounted, during a sale. I think it was during the Black Friday's Cyber Week sale. And then they bring out the new version, and they brought it out so close to this promotion that they made a big point of saying, it's okay, you automatically get that for people who just bought it during our promotion. So they are aware.
And that's the right thing.
There's sort of an unspoken, it is, but there's an unspoken sort of, we can't do that with hardware. It's like, oh no, that's different. That's annoying.
The thing is, it's always going to happen at some point, because when you bring in your next gen or the new version, at some point you're going to have to either stop selling the old one either a lot earlier, in which case there's going to be no product being sold, or cut it as soon as the new one comes out. So you're always going to get this crossover. It's what you do when that happens.
What about the prospect of just discounting? So, okay, there's a new version coming out in 3 months. We're selling off these
certainly
old ones for half the price, Seems like
I have some experience of this, Chris, because when we were a Korg dealer, they would, as a dealer, they would let us know when they were going to discontinue something, and they would then give us a choice to either run existing stock down and not buy the last, or they would sell us the stock at a discounted price, so you were able to discount it. But that's usually, I don't think it was about them bringing out a new version of it. It was just that they've decided to make that, to stop making that product for a whole load of reasons.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody does that, but certainly,
no.
I would like to think that most manufacturers will do that with their dealership. So they give the dealer the heads up as to whether to discount it or not.
It gets quite complex, doesn't it? Because the dealer structures are different in different countries as well. I mean, Ranzee and
exactly.
Our dealer structure is like a cartel. A couple of companies that deal with so many different, quite a few different brands, and they can pretty much do whatever they want.
Also, if it's not just a livery change to match other things in the line that they've changed, it sometimes they have parts shortages, right? And they have to change it because the circuit's different.
Yeah.
Well, they usually communicate that, but sometimes I don't know if I believe them.
Well, they might be embarrassed to communicate everything like that, so
yeah,
because they didn't plan for it.
Yeah.
But like here with the tariff situation, a lot of places were not stockpiling parts because they're worried about the cost of things. Sometimes they were stockpiling parts.
Which tariff system is this working on? Because God knows what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you must really. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much where I thought it was going to go with that conversation. Not bad. I just had an idea.
But not good enough.
No, it was good enough. You passed. Don't worry, Daren. You get to come. You get to come again.
Daren, we got a tick. We got a tick from the school board, student master.
Well, that's. I mean, the firmware.
Ranzee, you didn't give us the green check mark. We have to have the green check mark so we know that.
Yeah, just put a listing up. You'll be fine.
There's actually a question here for me from John Carter. It said, "What was Korg like to deal with, being a smaller dealer compared to the giants?" Korg were very, very good to deal with. They treated everybody the same. So we would get offered the same deal as Gear for Music and all the big guys. Now, if we didn't take them, then that's on us. But they were very, very supportive of us as a small dealer. That I can't say that about everybody. Zoom being one of them. You know, I mean, we had issues with Zoom recorders where Gear for Music was selling them cheaper than we could buy them.
Yeah, I used to hate that.
Yeah, and so we would stop dealing with those companies. Boss was another one, actually. With a whole issue, a load of problems with Boss, you know, but not all of them. But certainly, Korg were great. Yamaha were great. Some of our guitar companies were really supportive, you know, because they want to keep little mum and pop shops like ours. We're not the big guys, but you know that shop's now gone, sadly. So the local community that's supportive, and certainly the teaching that went out of Poppington music, you know, 300 lessons a week plus, that's all gone.
All right.
You know.
Awesome. Good answer that. Don't answer the next question because that's for another day. We are going to go across to this, and we're going to have another little visit of Tremodular and their permitter and the liminal space, which we'll look at in a sec. I just thought I'd show you guys a bit more about this because I've had a bit more of a research and a play, and this is just a patch that I've done, and I'll be doing more patches over the next couple of days. Still haven't finished the video on this, but anyway, it's actually pretty cool. We actually got to the meat and potatoes of it last time we showed it, but we didn't really get a good chance to actually work out how this thing actually works in a musical sense. This particular patch is a musical patch. You can use this as a CV patch. It's kind of like a selecting box, you know, but it's got this interesting thing called Max, and we'll call it Max because Max is a good boy. Max makes summing sort of basically it's to do with the highest voltage audio signal, and it combines things based on that, and you've got the 4 inputs. In this case I've only got 3 inputs. We're leaving the 4th empty, and the reason for it is because it does normalize, so it just ignores that 4th input in this particular sense here anyway. Right, so first things first is I've connected all 3 of these outputs into Chris's mixer here, so we can turn each of these outputs on and off and have a listen to them based on what is happening on the selection side. So one of the outputs is Max, one of the outputs is the selection output, and one of the outputs is the sequencer output. So you'll get a different sound depending on that. And you can see from this matrixy here, there's your selection down that side there. The next column is your sequence output, and the next column is your Max output. So it kind of works that way. And as you can see, I can manually select things by turning this potentiometer here. Right, I've got it piped through, so we should be able to start seeing stuff. What I'll do is I'll do an arpeggiator sound, and we'll get that going. Here we go. Now we should be getting sound. I know why we're not. I know why we're not, because we've got to turn some noise on. So channel 1 is the selection output. So if I select something different, this will be probably the drum 2. I have got effects running. I can turn the effects off, but this is the liminal space running in the background. I thought it was kind of nice to have it running. Shows off a little bit of Chris's module as well at the same time. And you can select. It's the drum kick there. Obviously you probably don't want to have a delay going with a drum kick. Now that's controlled. If Obviously, we can turn the volume up and down. That's controlled by an arpeggiator. Anyone want to start doing the Blue Monday? All right.
Not taking.
So there's my 3 inputs there. What's interesting now is we can actually control that with an LFO if you want to. At the moment I've got that controlled by a gate signal coming from something else, but I can change it to an LFO. So that can be done that way. Or so I'll just turn that one off now. Now we're going to listen to the sequence output, which is this one. So the sequence output is the second column here. And you'll notice now if I'm moving this thing around, it doesn't change the sequence output at all. You see that? So you can have different sounds coming through your select output to what is coming through your sequence output. That becomes an interesting sort of variable switch situation. So that's the first cool thing. And I can advance the sequence by pressing this button manually. Notice the non-connected audio input here has normalized to the previous input, which is nice, a nice little feature. So that way it doesn't get a muted sound, and we can just loop through. Or we can actually and I'm just controlling that with the arpeggiator's gate right now. Now what's interesting, I guess, lastly, mute that for a sec, is now we've got the max one, which is the last one here. Remember what I said before? It's based on the loudest or the highest voltage input. So it sounds to me like this module here is creating more drama than anything else. I'm getting some interesting results, and I can control it now. So the max is controlled by the voltage coming through from the audio signal, but also it's mixed in with your sequence. Interesting, right? Next thing you can do is start bringing the other channels back in. That's all 3 of them now. Unlike anything else, it's all controllable through other ways.
planes flying overhead. It's a bombing run.
There you go. That's a little bit more of a introduction to the permitter and what sort of cool things you can do with it. That was just 3 noises going through it. And the next one I'm going to show you guys, not tonight, but another time, is I'm going to show you what it does with control voltage. And we'll do some control voltage mangling through it. But I'm starting to get why it exists more and more now. I'm starting to get the feeling of how you know, understanding how you mix voltages versus understanding how you mix audio are 2 different sort of disciplines in Eurorack. And when we show you the permitter mixing control voltages next with the max and stuff like that, you'll get some cool results. And that will be...
What was the official description of the permitter? What is it supposed to be?
Let me get the little manual thing up. I'll tell you exactly what it says. Clicking. Where's it gone? Okay, so it is a analog expanded signal routing and control system combining 3 core functions: voltage controlled switch selector, sequential switch, and max value output. So
okay, so sequential switches in there too. Okay.
Yeah, so the max value, just so you, I'll read it exactly what they say. By the way, there's some there is some stuff you can muck around with underneath the module to do with voltages on this, but not really important for now. So the max value is, it compares all the incoming signals. So let's go to this instead so we can see it. So it's comparing all these incoming input signals. Obviously 4 is not connected, and it can outputs the maximum value through that in real time, and operates with bipolar signals from -5 to +5 volts. So that would be in a CV modulation sort of setup. And then also audio signals. In this case, we used it with audio signals. So signals above any of that range will clip. And you've probably heard when I was talking about it, where that drum 2 module, it sounded to me like it was clipping probably because it's got quite a hot output on it. I'm not sure. There's no way to taint unless I put it through an attenuator or another sort of attenuverter or something coming in. So basically what happens is, because of that nature of that circuit, if you unplug the source signal and you leave the patch cable connected, the max value circuit can actually produce a glitch sound or no sound at all. And you can actually cause it to just produce a drone sort of sound out of itself. And it keeps, for some reason, it's because of the bipolarness, I guess, is it, Chris? I'm not sure how the logic works electronically in it, but maybe it's routing that signal around the circuit somehow, and it's just letting it loop. I'm not sure, letting the voltage loop.
Some kind of instability.
Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, it's kind of like it's a mangling thing, really. If all inputs are left unplugged, the max output will just default to -5 volts. So that kind of gives you an indication of what it's actually doing voltage-wise. So if you unplug all the inputs on it, you can use it as a -5 volt source, which is handy for things, right? So I guess this thing can do a bit more than what it's saying it can do if you start sort of digging deeper in it. I kind of feel like there's a few videos that these guys have done already. They are really, really good. But I kind of feel like where I'm probably going to go with this is where you've got an oscillator which has got multiple different waveforms, and you can use that. Say it's got 4 different waveforms on the oscillator, and each of the waveforms has its own separate output. you can use that to select between the different oscillator outputs, and then that can then go into a filter as a single input, because that's what this does as a selector. So as you're going, if you can imagine, we could probably even do this here actually. We could probably get all of these waveforms down the bottom here, plus the mix version, which is based on the shape. So we've got literally 4 outputs here, and we can bring that in to the 4 inputs here, and then we can output the selection of those, or the sequence of those, depending on which one we play with, and then bring that back into the filter as a single input. So you can have parameter switching between waveforms, and you can do that through an LFO. So you can have an LFO. I've got an LFO somewhere around here. I don't know where it's gone. Not plugged in. Okay, so you can do that through an LFO, or you could do that through some other sort of control voltage that would literally toggle this thing, right? Or you could just press advance and do it that way, or select manually and do it that way. So that would be a cool thing to try out. So yeah, I just thought that was kind of like an interesting. While you guys have a little chat, I'll actually patch that up now, see if we can get that going. Can we try that one next? Because I just think those sort of things are kind of interesting to, like, where you can say, okay, well, I'd like to switch through different waveforms and see what it sounds like, but I want to be able to do that in a automated way, or a loopy sort of sequenced way. This is something that can do that. I'm trying to think of what other modules can do this sort of stuff, and really, when you think about it, Chris, it's probably more like a switch module, and there's kind of some Mogi sort of things that kind of bring memories back.
Yeah, kind of reminds me bit of some of the Moog subharmonica, or combination of different things on the same module is a bit unusual.
Yeah,
you can certainly get sequential switches, but they tend not to be combined with other forms of switching or selecting. And you could probably get maximum, minimum. It's kind of like what you would normally build out of a bunch of different modules, quite often like a Ornaments and Crime or something like that. But yeah, it looks like someone's they thought about it.
sorry.
They thought about it. It's all right. They thought about what would actually work together in an interesting way.
That was a nice emergency broadcast system tone there. I like that. So,
Yeah, that was a square wave.
Yes, it was actually.
It was a square wave.
Did Mutable Instruments have something like, not as a slight similar thing to this? It's sort of a rare module. Trying to think.
Branches or something.
Branches was the Bernoulli gate.
No. I know what Daren's
Yeah.
thinking of.
No, it wasn't.
Parallels? Was it Parallels?
Could have been.
Was
I
it
can't
frames?
remember. It was a rarish module.
Called frames?
Is it could be frames, warps, or something like that. I can't remember, but it was something. You didn't see them.
Warps is a weird hybrid
small.
module of all kinds of individual things.
Mm.
I have it. I don't use it much. It's kind of weird. But frames was one I never got to use. That was kind of a weird one.
Right.
I think.
The clever thing about this module is the fact that you've got common inputs to all 3 processors. That saves a heap of patching, and it would lead you to explore something that you just wouldn't be bothered, because it would just take too much time and effort. So anything which allows you to travel down different roads is usually just to be lauded somewhat. To be congratulated, I guess.
Now I've got to get this thing working. So we've got the filter coming out into there. Keep talking, guys, while I get this thing going. know what I did wrong.
Well, one.
Keep going.
Do you want to just temporarily? By the way, the module that Ranzee was showing is of course one of my modules, the mixer.
Yay!
You want me to just go to you?
Yeah.
Cool. There we go.
Excellent. So this is the little module that, like I said, it looks so much better on my screen than it does on yours. Never mind. But the reason why it looks like that is because I bought a little something from AliExpress. I got me a little turntable. So now I can put my modules and make little turntable videos to display my modules.
Yeah, that's cool.
Isn't that cool?
I like
And
it.
I've got one in black, which is, I got one in black. That's why I quite like this one, because it sort of, it goes all ghostly, and when you turn off the light, it just becomes like a ghostly image. And when you crossfade between me and the ghostly image, it looks like it's like a Pepper's ghost illusion. But otherwise, I've also got me a white one, because all my the normal pictures for the website and stuff like that are usually on a white background. So I've got a white turntable as well, in the white background. So yeah, it's good fun stuff.
I'll show you
It's good for
something.
speeds and stuff like that. But
I'll show you something, Chris, that you'd like, because it'll be right up your alley about exactly what you just showed. Let me just go to me for a sec. This is completely unrelated to synths. I got this little box.
oh yes,
Yeah.
I got it because my son
it's the other thing on my list.
is selling stuff right now, and you can turn the light on,
Yeah.
and you can put products in there, and they take beautiful photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a bigger version one. I like the
Mine's
size of that one though. Mine's about
mine's
twice
just
the
a
size
little-
of that.
Yeah,
Mine's just a little 25 centimeter jobber, and
right.
I got it because my son is he deals in coins, and so he wants to. It's got a little manhole at the top where you can take this little thing off and take a photo from above, and you just use your phone camera. It looks amazing just with your standard phone camera.
Yeah, it looks. It does look good.
And that was like about $12 Aussie to get. So through
Yeah.
AliExpress.
I've been tempted to. Yeah, and it's on my list of I just trying to decide between whether I get the big one or the little one like that one, because the little one's
Chris,
all I
also
really
don't
need.
forget to do some
The
hand
big one
modeling
might be
when you
useful.
demo your models.
Yeah.
Sweep your hands
people wouldn't-
across
people
in
would
a
not-
suggestive way.
All right, guys.
Does not want to see my hands.
Patch
believe
done.
me.
Square wave, sawtooth, sine. I think it's sine under there. Sine. Yeah, sine. And then the mix. Now the mix we can control with the shape, and we can muck around with that in a sec. So the mix is the fourth input. And then, so we don't need to really look at that. What we want to look at is what's happening next is they're all coming straight out of the oscillator into this permitter, right? Which is becoming a selector now for me. And then I can either what we'll do for now is we'll take the selector output, which is routing the audio through the selector switch and then piping it straight out here, okay? So we're going to take that out, and then that's going back into the filter, straight into the filter. So it's like piping your oscillator waveform straight into the filter via selector. So let's just run that little arpeggiator again. All right, so that would be the square wave, right? There's the other waveform. That's the sine wave. And that's the mix. Now we can manipulate the mix now with shape. So you get a different sound. I mean, obviously you'd look at a oscilloscope to see what that looks like. All right, so there's nothing fantastic about that. Okay. But that means we can quickly select between waveforms, right? So what? Why don't we sequence it this time? And make it faster.
Yeah, I like that. Oh yeah.
Almost like Spiral.
That's just mucking around with just an oscillator through a filter. It's really nothing majorly crazy going on here. Alright, so now we know that we've got different sounds coming out of this thing, right? Let's see what it sounds like coming out of the sequencer, right? Sorry, not the sequencer, what am I saying? The max is the one I meant to do. The max. This would be interesting because I would feel that the voltage would be the same, right? I think, with all these.
Well, the relationship between them would be the same, like because all the waveforms are in sync.
Yeah.
Because they're all being derived from the same core.
So that's not doing anything. Yeah.
That's not particularly because it is, but it's already done it and it does it all the time.
Yeah.
Because a waveform is cyclical. Yeah. It'll be clearer when you do the CV demo. What's happening? But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
So unless you had the individual waves all coming into it varying a lot, like maybe one of them was being pulse width modulated, that would probably start to get a bit more movement. It certainly knows how to go fast.
Yep. It's as fast as I can get it to go through the key step. This is the key step generating this through an ARP, right?
Yeah.
Almost getting an oscillator out of this. Could probably untune it, I guess.
How long has this module been out?
It's only just come out. I mean, the envelope generator goes pretty snappy as well. Anyway, there you go.
Some Tangerine Dreamy stuff in there.
I mean, that's just an example of what you can do with it, just with one oscillator and a selector switch and an arpeggiator. I could change the way that it selects through an LFO. You can make LFOs go really fast. Or I could actually use one of the oscillator outputs to select it at really, really high rates. I don't know how fast it goes, but be interested to see actually. Let's give
Look
that.
at Ian, he's chomping at the bit. He goes, I gotta get one of these.
Yeah.
Ian's loving it.
Absolutely not.
Now, if we introduce a
Your time will
second
be gone.
oscillator,
We'll have no time for anything else. It'll be patching all day.
Go ahead, Chris.
so
Speak to
say
me,
we
NPC.
Introduce a second oscillator.
Guys.
Synchronize to the first one, or maybe not even synchronize to the first one, and have that as selecting the waveform of the other oscillator.
Yeah.
Get interesting.
Yes, we could put the second oscillator in, but I'm running out of room in my rack case here. Could take the drum modules out and do it, but yeah, we could do that definitely. I feel like the next thing to try out on this would be the CV stuff, and I'm not going to do that tonight because I need to pull all these modules out and try something else. But what I do plan on doing is I want to use the slow signs module, which is basically 4 free running separate sine wave LFOs, and then I'll switch between them and see what sort of weirdness that will create when you're switching. Yeah, I don't know. It might be completely fizzle. It might be brilliant. Who knows? You don't know until you try these things.
To build a new case, you got to build another massive case to go next to it. So.
Yeah.
I'll leave that one for you, Andy. You can do that.
It's just a drug.
I won't build one.
It's just a drug.
Andy needs another room.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just with those kind of weird modules, you notice on the show we show a lot of sort of audio based modules, but sometimes we show sequency modules and sometimes we show modulation type modules. When we show these kind of more, like, I would call them utility based sort of modules, like the permitter, right? It's really important. I feel like what Trend Modular has enabled me to do is to get this thing to show what it can do, not just with what they thought it was going to do when they made it, but put it in the hands of someone who's read the manual, watched a few videos, and then gone, stuff that, I'm just going to put what I want to put through it and see how it behaves. And then what you find is just weird stuff. And that weird stuff lends itself to then creativity, and then that, before you know it, you're making a track and you're recording something.
Are they known for other clever modules?
Yeah, well, that liminal space, I should say, not luminal space. Liminal space is actually pretty cool. It's two.
Oh, that's theirs as well. Okay.
Yeah, it's like two delay chips, 2 digital delay chips, fighting with each other. Think of Street Fighter and 2 delay chips as your 2 characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And the result is, well, you heard it. You were just hearing it then. I wasn't playing with it as such, but you heard what it sounded like. It's a mono-sounding module, but doesn't come out stereo or anything like that. I mean, that'd actually be a nice little update for it. They could send those 2 delay outputs into a stereosphere or something. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, what I'm trying to do with this too, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was trying to make a patch where I wasn't using any Behringer stuff. See that?
Oh, very
Not
good.
one Behringer module in there at all.
Yeah. Poor Behringer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be upset now.
Look after the small guys. Look, Bastel's in there. We've got free feedback
Yeah,
centrals. We've got Chris, Makeshift Modular. We've got Erica Synths. We've got Frequency Central. We've got obviously Trend Modular. We've got the 2.
Which Bastel is that? What is that doing?
That's the Bastel Quattro. That's a VCA. I'm just using one VCA in this, but it's a pretty cool VCA because you can use it as a mixer. You can use it as a panner, with the way they've got this weird routing in it. Yeah, it's a pretty cool little VCA.
Stuff for termites.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool little VCA.
I know that's the only that's the only thing I don't like about this module. Is I'm not a massive fan of the wood.
Wood. You're not
I think
into
it's
wood.
classy, but it does weaken it. So.
Well, if you look at it like from the view like that, you can see how the wood sticks up. It sticks up.
Yeah, it sticks out, yeah.
And that annoys me. Other than if it didn't stick out, it probably wouldn't annoy me so much.
Yeah, well, you need to be all wood, doesn't it?
Well, I've
Everyone's
had
using each other.
decorative plastic modules that did the same thing, so
Yeah.
they will bow as well.
Do you guys like it when I do this stuff? Let us know in chat. Or is it
No.
watching the wallpaper fade? Be honest.
Ian gets a power nap during this segment. It's very important. So
I did. Yeah.
I think it's generally important
It's
to
good.
do it every
Good
now
stuff.
and then.
All right. Who wants to know the answer to the synth quiz?
yeah,
Go.
Yeah,
Roll
do tell
on
us.
something.
Which one? Which flavour is it? Because they did lots. Excellent. I thought it might be.
yeah. We were just talking about that in the chat because Wagyu had suggested that, and then when I thought
yeah,
about it,
'cause
I
the
thought,
800
that does 4 tones.
Yeah.
You can individually choose
Yeah,
them.
it sort of takes the D50 lineage and
I will let you know because I know these guys are going to be like all over this like a bad rash. The answer is palette, which was the first clue, right? Palette. Palette appears printed above the 4 central sliders. The unique feature allows you to edit the exact same parameter across all 4 sound layers simultaneously.
Yeah.
The next clue was active tone. Active tone is printed on the left side above the A, B, C, and D buttons used to select the specific layer of the patch you are currently
Current layer you're
editing.
working on. Yeah.
And the last one is time variant filter, printed prominently on the
Roland's,
top
basically.
right panel. Roland's specific term for their envelope generated controlled digital filter, often abbreviated
TVF's all
as
over Roland,
TVF.
TV. Good old TVF.
There you go.
It's my favourite channel. TVF.
Mm.
Ah, yeah.
Wagoo's all over it like a rash.
He doesn't like about active tone. Doesn't think it's written there.
He gets angry, doesn't he?
Uh,
It's in the manual. I don't know.
Well, that's what I was saying in the chat. Is that it's possible you didn't pull it off the panel and you pull it out of the manual because you've done that before. So
Yep, I pull it out of the manual or the panel or what's written in the manual. And sometimes, you know, I might get it from the internet,
Sometimes.
and the internet might be a bad source of whatever.
especially if it's ChatGPT, get stuff wrong all
At
the
least you're
time.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Wagoo just likes to win every week and walks. He walks around. He goes to work and he goes, "Guess what, guys?" And they go, "You're the synth quiz master, aren't you again?" That's what they say. And he walks in. And he goes, "No, I'm pissed off with Brands
Yeah,
because
it's win or winch, right?
he he tricked me.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't that synth, but he said it was, and I'm really pissed off with him." And then he'll write me a special message, and I have to like have an argument with him all week now. That's how it works.
It's kicking off.
That
now.
should be another Ranzee shirt, synth quiz, win or whinge, right? So
Yeah.
It's just like that button. Yeah. Look at him go. He's pulling manuals apart. He's taking racks off the roof.
He's throwing jelly across the room.
oh,
Sorry.
Well, mate, all I'll say is, Wagoo, if you can do better, then do the quiz. You do the quiz.
Yes.
If you can do better. Criticising from your armchair is always easy.
he's going to get more in the weeds, though they're going to be harder. So
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
God.
he can do it. He can do it next week.
Really.
Get it all perfect next week. Guys, I think we're done. I think we've finished. We've had topics, we've had demos, we've had news, we've got Wagoo angry. I think our work is done.
that's complete.
Yes, I think we've
Cycle's
circle is
complete.
complete.
This is
Well
the
done,
fluff
people.
mode.
Circle is
Complete.
complete.
Is this like a? If I'd known this was a drinking game, I would have like lined up shots and would have been like,
Oh,
who's pissed off?
we need to have a drinking
Something's
show.
too expensive on.
We need to have a
We
drinking
do.
game. Yeah,
We do.
it doesn't have to be alcohol. But
Darren, we used to crack the beers, didn't we? A little while back.
I won't say that. We always used to have some sort of drink going because we didn't always with beers. I mean, could have been anything.
Well, you didn't, but yeah, you were being good.
yeah,
Well, now they have weed beer, so you guys can have a weed beer. So
We can't do weed beer here. We're not allowed.
I'm just on a tango.
I'm sure it's still around though. So.
We're still in
fruits, Jim.
we're still in the dark ages here where they won't allow us to do fun things.
Well, trust me, we're in the dark ages in other ways. So don't
Doesn't
worry
stop
about
people
that.
from doing it though. Let me tell you, people still do it.
Jeez, yeah.
All you have to do is go to a concert. Is everyone drinking tea tonight? Can you smell tea? It's like
Is that what tea smells like?
Where I might be a burned out spot next week. So you
What
never
is
know
this
what the weather's
strange
like.
herbal drink you are drinking?
it is. You're not drinking it. It's got smoke. Is it too hot? Yeah.
Oh, who stuffed up the fog juice again?
Have you guys heard
Tuna
of?
in it.
Have you? We'll finish up, but I just want to end on this. Have you guys heard of Lord? She's a New Zealand
she's brilliant,
brilliant,
absolutely
right?
brilliant.
So she came
I've got
over
the
here.
first
Oh, that's
album.
good, yeah.
She came over here recently, like a few weeks ago, week ago or so, and she did a concert here. And one of my friends went, and one of my friends is kind of probably even older than me. He's probably in his 60s. And I don't know why he went. Actually, I have to ask him. Never got to that, but because he spent the whole night on Thursday night reminding me of how short girls wear skirts these days, because that was pretty much all he could remember from the concert.
Anything on his mind?
What a
Yeah,
concert.
okay. Yeah.
And he was like, he was really pissed off about it. Actually, he was like, there should be a law against it. There's,
Oh,
and a lot of them were underage too. So that's the problem, right?
but Lord's first
Speaking of
two
Lord,
albums are absolutely brilliant.
watch the South Park episode where Randy, the father, does his Lord version. That's very funny.
Well, have you seen the latest Lord album cover?
Not it's a because the one before was her legs, wasn't it? That was the last album.
Was it the one before? Was it? There was one which had
think
female anatomy in it.
I think that's the.
Oh, okay.
I haven't checked out the latest album. So
Yeah.
look it up now.
So I just said
but
when he had that little rant about Lord and all the girls were running around with their short skirts, I just said, "Well, have you seen the album cover?" And he goes, "No." And I said, "Okay, well, jump on your phone and
think-
Google the album cover." And within 2 seconds, he found it. And he's like, "I said, well, there you go. That's why they're all short skirts. They want to be like Lord."
A form of female empowerment, I guess.
Yes. Get it out there. Get it out there and feel the breeze, I guess. Not sure.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of the third album, which is Solar. This is Virgin, isn't it? Yeah, I had seen the cover.
It was quite controversial when it came out. Probably, I don't know when it was last year. I think it was.
the one before it, actually.
Yeah,
The one
probably
with
was.
her
Yeah,
leg
yeah.
was-
But she does that. She does that because she
yeah.
she wants to create a, I think it was her that said this.
Conversation.
She went to art school at uni or something, and she had a lecturer that told her that when you're going to do something artistic, you've got to create a reaction. So whatever you're creating doesn't mean what type of reaction, doesn't matter, but you've got to create something that will create a reaction. And she kind of lives by that. That was like a building block of art, basically. Quite a good thing.
Check out the link I put in the chat when you have time. It's the Lord thing on South Park. It's hilarious. It's using a DAW to basically recreate Lord.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it. Yeah, I think
It's
I've
very
seen
funny.
it. Yeah.
And I certainly bought the first two albums. I didn't buy Solar Power, and I haven't listened to Virgin. Actually.
Well,
The
anyway,
first albums are great.
if you haven't heard Lord, go check out. She's got, I think
Well,
she's
yeah,
got a massive hit. At least
Melodramatic.
you'll probably enjoy her massive hit. But if not, go check it out. Not that it's gonna make anything for Chris, because maybe they might buy some modules from you afterwards, Chris. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go for it. Still available. I can't do much about the American situation though.
Yeah, I know that kind of sucks.
And nobody can.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord, it's just somebody that I used to know. That's the one, Steve. Hang on, wait.
No,
I've got it. I've got
sorry,
it.
mate.
Here we go. Ready?
Sorry.
Ready?
Sorry. Unfortunately, it's a misquotation because it's actually Kimbra.
Yeah. It's Kimbra.
A different
Yeah, I know,
female singer
yeah,
is on that
yeah.
single.
It's Kimbra
Not
on
Lord.
the. What's his face?
Yeah.
Sorry, Steve. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. Go.
Wrong Kiwi.
Yeah.
Got you or whatever. Got
got you,
you.
yeah.
Got
Yeah.
you. Got you.
Gautier, yeah.
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 Got you. Oh, I did a
Alright.
reimagining on that. That's after that track, I did a reimagining on that track. It's on my channel. Go and check it out. It's quite a few
Go
years
check
old
out
now.
Darren's channel.
It's a great.
How dare they not check your channel out, Darren?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
I know.
right. They should.
What's happened to everybody?
I think
It doesn't matter if you don't
didn't
watch
he
it. Just
retire
press
from-
them.
Yes.
That's it.
Didn't Gautier retire from the
Just press
music
the like
business after
button.
that?
And...
Kimber is
Yeah.
I don't even know who Kimber
Yeah.
is. I must be
It's
living
the-
under a rock. So.
No, actually, Kimber's all right. Yeah, no, she's got a good voice.
All right, I'm going to end the show before we get in trouble.
Yeah.
See you, everybody.
Oh, don't forget JX3D later
Bye,
on.
everybody.
There's the link.
Say hi to Henrik for me. See you guys.
See you guys.
Yeah,
Bye.
Yeah.
Later. Bye.
Good show tonight. See you guys.